This and all episodes of the podcast have been brought to you by our generous patrons over at Patreon, the DayZ podcast. If you're interested in finding out more about how you can support the show each week, then please click the link in the description down below to find out more information about Patreon, the DayZ podcast. Thank you for your support. And a big shout out to our two Patreons, our $10 supporter, Scale Speeder Gaming. Thank you so much, mate. And a big shout out to our $25 supporter, Jake Snow. Your support means a lot. Thank you. And welcome to episode 46 of the DayZ podcast, ladies and gentlemen. This is a hard episode for me, this one, because first we'll introduce our guest, Mr. ZombieLee. How you doing, buddy? Welcome to the show, mate. But before we go any further, we've got an announcement that we need to make. It really saddens me, this one, Brim. I am, mate. I am. But yeah, I'll let you tell everyone, Brim.
I'm not going to be doing the podcast quite as much anymore, so I won't be here every week.
Yeah.
So I'm not stepping completely away from the podcast. I'm just taking a back seat for a little while. And the reason for that is that I've recently found I've got a new job. And that job is going to include it's going to happen between the times of when the podcast would. So what I don't want to do is sort of say, right, yeah, I'll be here this week. I might be here next, and start, messing things around. And we don't want to mess with schedules and things. Some of the people we have on are obviously quite busy. So rather than doing that, I figure it's better just to take a bit of a step back, and then sort of pop back for the important episodes and any time I can when I get the odd weekend off.
So he's still going to be here, folks. He's still going to be doing his TikToks and all the rest of it. But it's just, for me, it's fucking sad, man, because, it was me, you, and Val. And then Val took a step back, but it was still me and you. And pretty much every week, people have had either myself or yourself on this show.
Yeah.
And I am a sentimental old sod. You've grown on me. You've grown on me, mate.
I'm like a bloody good fungus. But yeah, no, I'm like I say, I'm still going to be around. I'll be on episodes of the podcast every so often, and I'm still going to obviously be in various Discords, watching streams. Just means I'm not going to be doing all of that as I normally would quite as much anymore. I'm going to have to scale things back, but
because look, at the end of the day, we're not fucking Joe Rogan. We're not the PKA podcast or anything like that. We're not fucking making buku dollars from this, folks. And the world that we live in, I got bills I have to pay, and so does Brim and all the rest of it. So he's had a job come up, and you're probably fucking chomping at the bit actually to start working again. Because how long's it been, mate, for you guys in the UK in lockdown and shit?
Too fucking long.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the industry. I mean, we're still in lockdown now. We'll be in lockdown for the first couple of months of me having this new job. So it's, it depends on your industry. Security kind of has a bit of a boom now because all businesses are closing, all your shopping centers, your mum and pop shops, every single retail outlet that's not considered necessary, such as supermarkets and pharmacies and things like that, everything else is closed. So all those people that run those businesses want their businesses to be safe while they're empty, so they're employing security companies to supply people to go and do things like that. So the industry overall's kind of balanced out a bit. So it's not too bad, but like you say, if you're working in retail, if you own a clothing shop or whatever, unless you can go online, you're pretty screwed at this point, unfortunately. It's not going great.
All the best from everyone, mate. I'm certain everyone's happy. Money coming in definitely trumped
yes.
being a co-host of a DayZ podcast.
You got to take those opportunities, you know.
You do.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
do.
Like I say, it's a big change. It's a big change to my everyday life now. I've been so used to things being a certain way, and now that's going to have to change. So,
Yeah.
but I'm looking forward to that because it's a positive change. You know, it's not.
As you
not
said in the
crappy.
Discord, a positive
Yeah,
change,
it's a
mate.
positive change. It means I can finally get out of the fucking house and engage my brain a little bit more. My brain's kind of turned to mush over the last couple of months between just literally just DayZ and then obviously various computer related things and then bed. And that's about it for my days recently. So it'll be nice to do something different.
Nice, mate. Nice.
Sounds good to me, man.
I'm still fucking sad about it.
Like I say, I'm not disappearing forever.
And he's said that he's definitely going to be taking the 50-second podcast episode off. I expect to see as many. I want Val for that one as well, and yeah. I'm looking forward to that one, the 50-second episode of the podcast.
Yeah, that 1 year one's going to be really good, and that's the great thing with this new job, because it's weird shifts. It's you sort of if you are rotated on to work that night, then you can kind of ask to swap it. You know, they're quite lenient with things like that. So
good employer.
You know, yeah, I can sort of swap and change every so often.
So we do have someone lined up to be the regular co-host, folks, but we'll be announcing who that person is at the end of the show. So you're going to have to hang around and wait. Oh, look at that. I'm baiting people. A reason to sit through 3.5 hours of 3 gits talking about DayZ just to find out who the new regular co-host is going to be.
What a cock tease.
But anyway, we'll go back now to our guest of the night. It is ZombieLee. As he self-described himself, a conversation with the streamer you've never heard of begins. He actually wrote that in my chat. You probably saw it there. I think you're being a bit hard on yourself, mate. We all start somewhere. And our regular scheduled guest, our scheduled guest was Bestius from Mini DayZ, but they actually asked to wait until Mini DayZ 2 is ready to release before coming on the show, which actually makes sense. So that left us without a scheduled guest, and I put the message out, and you sent me what was the message you sent me again, ZombieLee?
It was something to do with like we all just get into a chat and just chat shit about DayZ and say about our funny moments and just a real catch up on the game, really.
Yeah, and I put a tweet out. Someone tagged a few streamers. None of them got back to me, and I just said, first in, best dressed. And you tagged me, and I went, right, you're in. That's how Brim and I roll. It's like, okay, you're in. Well, it's a casual show, isn't it, Brim?
Yeah,
definitely didn't shit myself.
It's easy just to keep things rolling, and let's not make it too complicated.
Okay, I'm just being told, ZombieLee, you're very loud. Give me 1 second.
I'm not surprised.
Can you try talking again now, mate?
Hello.
Maybe a little bit too low. There we go. That should be fine now. Try something now.
Hello.
Yep, I reckon that'll be good. That'll be good.
Nice.
Thank you, Scales Peter. The audio is the bane of my fucking existence, man. Every week there's something that's either myself booming in or, like this. I actually started this episode with you guys muted. So the first little bit of banter up until Brim started talking about why, what the change is. Yeah. Oh, God. This is the problem with the new time, Brim. I don't have the time to get myself as organised as I normally am. My bloody Discord is, the pop-out isn't centred and, pro streamer right here, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. That's
correct.
Better now.
Yeah, the amount of fiddling with overlays and trying to resize things, and the amount of that I did when we changed to these overlays was unreal. I must have been sat there for a good 2 hours just fiddling around with which ones I think are best. And, it's madness.
So ZombieLee, tell us about yourself, mate.
That's a very good question. Right, okay. very new to DayZ, to be honest. Literally, I started playing DayZ. I got it gifted by my dad, and pretty much just started
cool,
streaming
Dad.
Straight out. Yeah, we all played together. Me, my brother, and my dad all started playing together. When I was much younger, we bitted and battered playing on it.
How old are you?
I'm 21. I'm 21. Yep.
But, you actually sound a lot older, doesn't
when I was
he,
much
Brim?
younger.
He doesn't
Probably
sound
my
21.
mic, to be honest.
No, you sound much older, mate.
Oh, thanks. I think that's a good thing. But yeah, when I was much younger, we used to, play on it, and we didn't have any other mods and all that sort of stuff because I was too young and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it came on in about May time, just fucking around on the game, just trying to find my feet. Started on Valning, really enjoyed that, and yeah, I'm still shit Janaris. So yeah.
So when you stream, do you ever stream with your dad and your brother?
Unfortunately not. My brother moved out, got busy, had kids, so yeah, I've not really had the time. And obviously with lockdown, it's meant that I've got a lot more time, but we're busy anyway, so.
Nice. And so how have you found DayZ since starting it in May?
Well, if my hours say anything, I've played for over 1.8k hours since
impressive.
May. So I played. Actually, I did a calculation. 31% of the time between then and now, I've been playing it. So that's quite a long time. Many sleepless nights.
We've all had those.
Yeah, but we all find our way.
I actually reckon you need to get your old man on your stream. I think that would be. I know I myself. I don't know about you, Brim, but I'd love to see a father and son playing fucking DayZ together, man. The internal dynamics would be fucking hilarious. Like I played with. I've got a video on my channel. Father's Day came early. It's a PUBG game, but it's me and my son, and the internal dynamics between us is fucking hilarious. Because like, but a lot of people don't know, but I've got slight hearing loss from my time in the army. So I sometimes hear things and I sometimes don't. It's like I've got tinnitus, so it's constant ringing, and sometimes that takes my attention. And you hear my son, calling out things and all the rest of it. He's like, Dad, are you fucking listening, Dad? It's the dynamic we've got. Even Viper in chat saying that would be hilarious.
That's my dad.
Oh, there you go. G'day, Viper. How you doing, buddy? But yeah,
you get you get a somewhat similar thing with Gaming Nana. She streams with her husband as well. So obviously it's not quite the same relationship, but you get a similar sort of thing where you get to not only do you get to see into that streamer and that person, but you get to see sort of part of their relationship, something that's normally kind of private and you don't see that part of too often in streams. And I think it's quite rare as well to see two people streaming together on one stream. You don't tend to see that. You don't tend to see couples stream like that very often. Obviously, you've got your big examples like Blue and Queenie, for example. But other than that, you don't tend to see it as often. It's a lot of solo people and their partners come in at various moments for whatever reasons. You don't tend to.
You should set your old man up as well, and definitely, I think maybe look at something like what Blue and Queenie do, because that would be fucking cool as shit, wouldn't it, Brim? Both of you streaming, getting both of your perspectives. It's quite technical, but there are some guides available on YouTube and things like that on how to actually set it up. But that would definitely be. Yeah, it's all about finding your little niche, your little bit of difference from everyone else out there. And a father-son combo playing DayZ, oh man, I would fucking be all over that shit. Because it even adds an extra thing, because like if Brim and I are playing together and one of us dies, we'll probably try to avenge each other. But I'm just picturing in my mind someone shoots you and your dad, Viper. You killed my son. Look what you did to my boy.
I'm not sure it'd be that way. Unfortunately, it's a blind leading the blind.
Nah, man. I think
I'm
it would be fucking gold.
And he's more shit, so
But that adds to it. That adds to it, mate. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm getting kind of bored with watching the really good players who know every trick in the book and who can PvP with the best of them. I like things to be a bit more wholesome, a bit more, I'm loving at the moment. I think I shared a video the other week of a guy who's only just started playing DayZ, and he runs up and he's watching someone punch a gas pump, and he had no idea what was going on. He starts laughing. This guy's just standing there punching a gas pump, and he's like, "What's this idiot doing?" And the next thing, it blows up, and he turns and he looks at the camera and he goes, "What the fuck is this game?" Yeah, he's never seen nothing like it. And I love things like that myself. That's adding to the appeal of, when I see someone, playing DayZ for the first time in Twitch, I'll jump in there and I'll watch them because I love nothing more than watching people learn and all the rest of it. So you don't have to be a PvP god and all the rest of it to get a following in DayZ. You just got to have your little niche.
Yeah, I completely agree. You can just do whatever the fuck you want. Survival, fucking modded as shit. Just do what you want, and don't stay in your lane. Just do whatever you like. Don't let people judge it.
Yep, exactly. A
lot of those, unfortunately.
So, what sort of content? What sort of maps and gameplay are you into right now?
Well, started on Valning. Probably got about 800-900 hours on that map. Just playing with friends, other streamers, those sort of things. And then just been playing Chinaris very recently. Just playing with my friend Ben. He might be in chat, he might not be, but I met him at a trader on a random server, and I wanted to kill him. My friends didn't, and now we're best mates. So he carries me, but we have a good time. That's pretty much what I've been doing.
That's one of the good things about DayZ, man. Yeah, the amount of people we've met through the game, and is it Tabenitz, the guy you
it is Birk on Twitch.
Okay. Because I saw Tabenitz in chat there, and I was going, I wonder if it's that Ben. Yeah. But yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, the people you meet through this game. Hey, Brim.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think the best example I can think of at the very least would be Fubar, Bundy, and Alan.
Yes.
Yes. Just met randomly in game and just happened to be, playing on the same server at the same time, purely chance. And then, it's now they've been best mates for years and met each other.
Literally stayed at each other's house. And
I think they've been to each other's weddings and God knows what else, and helped raise each other's kids. And they're basically as close as you can be. So, which is pretty damn cool when you think about it. It's come from some silly old bunches of pixels on a game. Do you know what I mean?
And when you consider the way they met, if you haven't seen that video, it is literally, I would say, one of, if not the funniest video of an interaction on DayZ. It's dick pics on Fubar Bundy's channel. It's not the first time that him and Alan met, actually. They'd met once before in a video. But yeah, as he talked about on the podcast with us, Brim. But yeah, it's definitely one of, if not the funniest video you will ever watch about DayZ. It is just, oh my God, pants splitting, side splitting, hilarious. So yeah. Now, we always like to ask our guests is there anything that you wanted to talk about? Because, we've come in at short notice with yourself. When you put your tweet out, you obviously had some things in mind. Is there any topic you wanted to talk about before we get into the regular scheduled stuff?
Oh, okay. Funniest moments in the game as a whole. What have we got?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I know there's going to be a lot. That's why it's a bit of a minefield. Some terrible and amazing moments.
Look, one of the ones I had to shout out is I just watched Septic Falcon's video, and I tweeted out the best interaction on the moles. And oh my God, Ceramore proves why he has finally become massive. Ceramore's been around for years, and he's always had a pretty decent following, and he's played other games and all the rest of it. But he's come back to DayZ now, and holy shit, that guy is next level good at what he does. for his madness. That's the only way you could describe it. The bloke is fucking insane. Poor old Septic Falcon.
Brilliant actor.
Didn't recognize his voice. And he rocks up for the first time. You know, it's his first day exploring Athena. And he just, I don't want to ruin it if you haven't seen it. If someone could paste the link in YouTube chat, in Twitch chat for us. But it is literally one of the funniest videos. Just what Sarah Moore was doing absolutely took... Septic Falcon had no idea what was going on. Literally had no idea what was going on. And then when information becomes available, Septic Falcon loses his shit. Absolutely loses his shit. Sarah Moore is an amazing creator. Madness of the highest degree. And as you said, Brim, he is a brilliant actor.
Yeah, I had the same situation as Septic, watching Septic's video. You know, you sort of, because you're obviously kind of watching it from his perspective.
Yeah.
You know, gives you that more of that you feel a little bit closer to it overall. You know, you almost feel like you're there. It's phenomenal, absolutely brilliant when he just realizes what's going on, because you're seeing it from his perspective. Is fucking brilliant.
And I'm just remembering what Sarah Moore was doing as well. He's like, when he's saying how tough he'd had it, and then you come across all those bodies, and you're like, "What the actual fuck, man?" Absolutely gold. What about you, ZombieLee?
Right, okay, so I wanted to make a clip of this, but I completely got sidetracked. So I'll just have to explain it, and you have to imagine. It's pretty fucking easy to imagine. I was so fucking pissed off at this. So I'm near Vorkuta, next to one of the military outposts on the outside, and I'm explaining to my chat, this is the EVR, this is what happens. And as I literally finished saying it, fucking died to an EVR.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, literally everything I'd worked on, fucking dead. And, just got the shit kicked out of me for it. Thanks. Cheers, mate.
What about you, Broom?
I don't know, really. I don't think I've really had that many sort of funny things happen. Generally, I mean, I'll tell you what, actually, the one I can think of recently is... there was when Rosto was first released, there was quite a popular vanilla server on there. So I jumped over there, and I was running through to this town, and I heard a voice. I heard someone speaking, and I recognized who it was straight away. And it was I can never remember exactly how to pronounce his name. Is it Gecko Fish? Is that is that the one?
Gecko Fish, yep.
Yeah,
that's correct.
So I thought I recognized his voice straight away, and I didn't let on. You know, I was just carrying on, and we were playing random others, and we were trying to find the right way to go. We were lost as fuck because we had no idea where on the map we were because it's so new. And all of a sudden, we're just like, "Fuck is that noise?" And there's just zombies chasing a cow up the road towards us. And there's like maybe 8 to 10 of us stood there just looking like, are we literally getting a fucking delivery of food? Because like we had no canned food on us. So between all of us, I think we had like 3 or 4 cans of food. It wasn't really enough. And then all of a sudden, this fucking ginormous cow comes running us. Well, there we go. That's dinner for you then.
Out of some shit situations that literally there's a cow just walking along. I obviously aggro some zombies. They fucking spawn on the cow, and I just run off because there's about 10 of them. Honestly, it saved my life.
Yeah, they do it with the goats as well. You quite often see them in coastal towns on Chinaris chasing the goats.
I've just shared a personal one because you guys all gave personal ones, and luckily enough, I've got a clip of it. When I trolled a friend in on my server. We've got the Hell Survival mod on there, and it gives you these items that sound like the animals in game. If you give me a moment, I'll just switch scenes.
All-time favorite. Those things, they're so cool.
Yeah, they are amazing. Next level, good.
Yeah, you got me with it, didn't you?
Yes,
As well.
yeah. I've gotten quite a few people with it, but yeah, it's.
Fuck, I hear a bear.
Where?
I don't know, but I'm in a lot of trouble if there is one. I'm not going to shoot him. He's coming for me, I think. Yep. Oh no, that's you. You fucking bastard. Fuck you. It's getting thin, Whitey. It's getting real thin, mate.
It's the reaction that I love the most. It's getting thin, Boydie. It's getting real thin. Because I was being a serial pest with it. Once I found it, I was using it on everyone. And yeah.
It's these mods and these situations that make DayZ so good. As much as it might get a bit of shit from a lot of people, there's so many different ways you can play it.
Yeah.
Every single time you can come back on, go on the same route, and have a completely different experience.
Yep.
There's not many games where you can do that now, unfortunately.
Mods are adding so much depth to this game. They really, really are. You know, what Sumrak and Inclement Dab, who's in chat, by the way, hi, Inclement Dab, what they did with the moles was, oh my God, it was such a breath of fresh air for DayZ. It just brought in so much, just a completely different way to play the game. Yeah, and it's been so awesome seeing the likes of you know, the Running Man. He was always a bit of a survivalist, but the likes of Flax Hawthorne and Ben Fruit and them, you know, having to do survival stuff as well as, and they're getting to see this different way of playing the game. I want to see things like that for other maps, Brim. You know, that add that little bit of, you know, just not just a run and gun style, to, you know, something to do on Chernarus that, you know, has people doing things a bit outside. But it's been great because so many people have changed their play styles now a bit to be more of an all-rounder. You know, Lax was, you know, he always struggled a bit with survival. Now the guy's as fucking good as I am. You know, I see him. I watched Ben Fruit the other day, and he got sick, and he was just sipping away. And you know, they know everything. They know the full game now. It's fucking awesome to see.
Yeah, I would include Uncle Ray Ray in that as well, actually.
Yep.
Because prior to Namalsk, you know, he was obviously loving getting some good numbers on Livonia and playing a lot on Livonia. Switched out a little bit of Deer Isle. Obviously, he was doing his normal thing on Chernarus as well. But all of those had very similar climates, whereas that whole different climate that Namalsk brings means that he kind of had to slow down a little bit on what he was doing, but still he was still doing it. But you know, because you've got to stop every 10-15 minutes and have a fire going to warm up again, you know, it adds that, I think it adds that extra challenge for a lot of people, not just the, you know, the main survivalists of it.
Well, you see people, it's creating more interactions. It's one of the things I loved about, you know, night servers and resting and all the rest of it, having to have a fire, and it was creating the opportunity for more interactions. You know, people stumbling across other campfires and stuff like that, and it's a win-win, absolute win-win.
Yeah,
I agree.
So on Twitter, I think it was DeBerrett, or maybe BWAD, I'm not sure. I should remember, but I ran out of character spaces.
It was BWAD. It's BWAD.
Another streamer, BWAD99. But he put a post up about preferring to use in-game radios versus Discord for communicating. And it was quite an interesting thread. What are you guys' thoughts on it?
I'll let you go first, Lee.
Okay. I've not really done anything with the radios, I have to be honest. You know, I play with my friends usually, and we just hang together. We're just pissing about, having a good time, not really having any aim. So yeah, I've not really used the radios. However, that doesn't mean that I'm not against it. I think that is the way to go, personally, but I've just not felt the need to do it at the moment. You know, if I'm in a situation where there's quite a lot of us, I won't put it in Discord and, you know, make it a bit more organic, because, you know, the absolute mess that could cause could be far more interesting. But
yes.
I've just not had a real opportunity to do that so far. So not really got too much of an opinion, but I'm not against it.
But one of the problems I have with the radios, well, there's two main issues, Brim. One is battery life. I think they should last a bit longer. I know that can be modded. But the other one is the lack of frequencies. What is there? Probably about 10 different frequencies? There needs to be, you know, 50.
Take, yeah,
there needs to be 50 of them or something like that. You know, maybe that's a mod someone can make, Brim.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a lot of mods out there. I think some of them, I think there's a couple ones that give the radios, the hand ones, extra range, but I don't think I've seen one that does anything with channels. So that would be quite interesting to see.
Yeah. However, should it be on the modders to be able to sort something so simple as that? Well, it seems so simple in our minds, of course, but for a survival interaction-based game, why the fuck isn't it there already?
Like Inclement Dabs just said in chat as well, radios need UIs where you can manually input the frequency. Problem is frequencies are hard-coded, so we can't mod it easily, he's saying in chat. So that kind of sucks, but it's something I've mentioned a few times to the dev team, and I got a heart from them when I mentioned it just the other day. So maybe that is something they're working on, because it's just so limited at the moment. You know, 10 channels, it's easy to pick up a radio and then intercept someone's comms, which does add extra to it, but there should be more frequencies to allow more people, because at the moment I think that's probably one of the things that puts people off is, you know, they are just, there's only 10 or so frequencies and you can easily intercept someone's communications, Bryn.
Yeah, I mean, there's, I think if I'm not mistaken, there's a PDA mod on the workshop, so which, if I'm not mistaken, acts as kind of like a phone's text messaging service. So, you know, it kind of acts as that similar situation. It's just obviously in text form instead of using your voice and actually calling someone. So it's not too far removed, and I think it could be a pretty decent change, so to speak. You know, and not just another avenue to look down.
See, another thing as well they could do, Brim, is you probably use radios as part of your security job. Now, there are certain handheld radios out there that constantly flick frequencies until they pick up a signal. True. And, you know, you could make that as something, a rare item, you know, maybe found at a chopper or something like that. The ultimate handset that is, you know, great for a bandit type person, because you can just turn it on, let it flick frequencies until it finds someone communicating. And then you know what frequency they're on, you know, a higher tier item. For those, you know, people are talking in my chat about how immersive it can be, and that a lot of people are a bit lazy to do that. But, you know, if you have nice things like that, that would be good, ZombieLee.
On the point of some people are too lazy to really emerge in the game. I think the opportunity for us to do both of those things, you know, third party or in game, is the beauty of the game anyway. You know, we can all do our own different shit. Of course, we'd all like to you know, be immersive in the game, but that's just never how it's going to be, unfortunately, even if they put it into the game. So we just got to be real about it.
That's saying in chat room he likes the intercepting. It's fun.
And it is a cool part of the game. You know, like you say, for the people that want to do that, that is a massive thing. You know, if you cut that out, that cuts out a massive, essentially a whole play style for all intents and purposes.
It's good seeing big blokes like Smoke. I was just watching him the other day, and he did it. He picked up a radio, he flicked through all the frequencies, and then once he picked a frequency for him and his teammate to use, and you know, seeing people like him do it goes a long way towards getting everyone, that's kind of fun, actually. Look at how much fun they had being able to do it and communicate in-game using the radios.
Yeah, I mean, for me, with my gameplay style and my sort of streaming style, quite often as well, as I tend to run lone wolf, so I don't tend to need to worry about whether I'm in Discord or not. But every so often, if I'm offline, I'm just I'm just having a bimble throughout the day. I'm not streaming at this point. Just fancy jumping on for an hour. I might jump into a Discord chat like this with a friend of mine. And even if he comes and joins me in game or whatever, we'll tend to stay in Discord because we can control who hears what we say. Whereas in game, we might be having, granted, obviously you can mute yourself and what have you, but you're trying to have a personal conversation. Perhaps you can't necessarily do that hot micing down from Kamishovo down the coast, so him telling me about something he's done is difficult at that point.
Yeah, there's just a massive convenience to it. There's just a convenience to being in Discord. It's just fucking easy. You just put it on. Someone drops in, drops out, do whatever the fuck they want, and and sure, like if you are gonna be in Discord, don't fucking matter and shit. If you're dead, you're dead. You know what I mean? If you can try and sort it to be somewhat like that, that might make it a bit more immersive than it is in the moment.
It's one of the things I loved about the Village server back in the day, Brim. It was a rule of the server not to use third-party communication devices. People still did, but so be it. But it was the policy of the server was everything was to be conducted in-game, and it just made for a more enrichment and rewarding experience for everyone.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for the radios, I wouldn't have had as much fun as I had recently playing on an Namalsk server. I think it was one of the day one's Namalsk servers, if I'm not mistaken, and I just happened to bump into some random friendly Canadian guy in one of the really tall apartments, and we ended up linking up, becoming friends. I got a radio. We were working on counter sniping some other guys that were shooting fresh spawns, and we end up on the radio to some girl who was like halfway across the map.
Yep.
Like she had nothing to do with us. So I just thought, fuck it, I've got a radio and a battery here. I might as well just have a little shout, see who's on what channel, see if anyone's there. And we ended up sitting on a rooftop having a conversation via the radio in game to someone who was like 2 kilometers away. It was the most random thing ever, but it was so funny. And I wouldn't have necessarily been able to do that if I was in a Discord call with, one or more other people.
Mm-hmm.
I think for a lot of people, just an experience at the moment is not something that people are just going to go straight towards. I just don't think that's how people are wired up at the moment. But if we can, influence people towards that different play style, then the game could do better for it.
And the more big content creators that use them in game, the better, because just imagine hearing the likes of Lax or Uncle Ray Ray or Seramore talking their madness over the fucking radio, and you'd just be like, what the fuck is going on here?
Well, Ray Ray's perfect for that because he does that already. But when I first sort of discovered Ray Ray, he was using a lot more of the radios, the big radios that need the car batteries that are inside houses in towns. So the tannoys that go across the whole city, the whole town. So he would use that instead. He'd usually, more often than not, be an electro, and he'd be straight into the piano house in electro, lock it down, stick a battery in, and that's it. You give him that, and your day is good. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely brilliant.
No, definitely. People need to step a bit out of their comfort zone, and Discord's great and all. We're using it now to do this podcast, but for in-game, you will always find using a radio. Yeah, you might take a couple of L's because of it, but an L is still an experience, folks. Someone may intercept your channel, but definitely worth looking into.
I could just add it to the list.
Yeah, Baby Nade shared a tweet. Factions ruin servers. Now, this was...
share your screen, Boydie.
Yes, I shall. Give me 1 second. Boomer that I am. Bada boom, bada bing. Screen. There we go.
Good point, to be fair.
Well, Yes and no. It depends on the server. You look at a server like DayZ Underground. It is built on factions, and yes, it creates issues for admins at times. Brim, I'm certain you've had many an experience with squabbling factions.
Oh yeah, you always get them.
Once or twice.
Yeah, you can't escape them.
But it's, I imagine, this was based on something that had happened. But a lot of people weighed in on this one. We had Spartan, Call Me Ride. Well, if it's something you don't expect on a random, not even popular server, they can make your life there interesting. But if they're allowed to take whole towns, building indestructible bases around them, that's defo a no. So it's about balance again. And that's ultimately what I think it comes down to. It's got to be a well-run server. When you end up with this monster faction, and I've seen it before myself, that are just so big and have so many people, it does kind of ruin it for everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you say, having big 20-man crews running around small towns is not going to be ideal necessarily. And like I say, having to help run a server and deal with the community on our server, there's been a few times where we did have to implement new rules when a couple of friends came on to play because they weren't sure and they wanted things done a certain way, and we sort of want to try and cater to them without pandering to them, but you've got to still have that flexibility and go from there. But I mean, I've had as a player myself, I've had good interactions with factions and bad ones. I think we've all been in the same boat where we've run into a random group of 3 or 4 guys somewhere, and they've just instantly knocked you out and tied you up and God knows what else, or just KOS'd you. But then there's other times, I'm sure we've all had, where we've bumped into people and they've gone, "Oh, do you want to come with us? We're going up this way. We're going to go and do this, that. And do you want to tag along?" And suddenly for the next couple of hours, you have more fun than you'd ever think of, and that's a way, like we say, that people that we know in the community have met each other and linked up in that fashion. So it's I think it is, like I say, it's based on the server, and you got to take the good with the bad, unfortunately.
One of the hard things, though, ZombieLee, is that factions usually mean bases, and being a content creator and having a base is, oh my fucking God, from personal experience, it is an absolute nightmare. I had raids done on my bases on server DayZ Down Under, where they raided exactly through to what I like to call the vault, where we had all our cool stuff. And you look at the path they took, and they just bang, they just they break into this wall, then they're through that wall and that wall, the minimal path. So they were either incredibly lucky or they had seen my stream and they knew. So, it's a really, really hard thing to do, to have a base as a content creator. Mark is saying in chat, Zombie, it's pretty much impossible.
Yeah, it is. I've run a few servers, still do. They're pretty small, but you have problems even on those. The smaller ones, where you just have like 5 guys who dominate the server, and there's fuck all you can do about it. It's unavoidable to have factions. If you put in your rules, or as a player or whatever, there's no factions, it's gonna fucking happen anyway, but just behind a closed door.
Yeah,
it's unavoidable. So I think we need to control it in a specific way as a community, and as server owners, admins, and all that sort of stuff, but just let it happen at the same time, because we cannot stop it.
Yep. Even if you have a rule about it, friends are still going to play together. It's nothing malicious or 100%. Nothing like that. But friends are still going to play together. And sometimes, that group of friends can be so big that they can absolutely dominate a server and ruin the experience for everyone else. Especially lone wolves can really struggle on a heavily faction-based server if they're not playing like a vigilante gamer and just being a person hiding in the woods and observing and that. It can be very, very difficult.
I agree. It's a pain in the ass sometimes.
Oh, yes.
Unless you're friends with a faction, and then that has its advantages.
Yeah.
I've never really been in a faction before, but allies at least has been good to me sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to go as well. So you don't have your group sizes being too big. You know, you can keep group sizes small. And I mean, quite often you'll see servers, you know, their factions won't be. I haven't seen any sort of mega factions for a while. You know, a lot of what I'm seeing are those sort of, you know, groups of 2 that have, you know, are just out of convenience sharing one base or something like that. You know, it's you see a lot more of that now than those big, you know, mega bases with, you know, 20 people living in them that you used to see.
You see like in the rules, just like oh, there's a group cap, you're only allowed like 8 people. Doesn't fucking matter how many people you put on the cap. They can still play with these people if they're allies or just lone wolves hanging with them and all this sort of shit. By the end of the day, you've got 20 people.
Yeah,
it's just unavoidable. But it's just something that we need to just embrace, unfortunately.
And it does create a lot of work for admins, but if they do it well, like a server like DayZ Underground, New Dawn DayZ, another one, you can have good factions experiences for people. It's just it just comes down to the ultimate rule. People need to realize that you don't need to win every single time to be able to have an experience. Sometimes taking that L is just as good as if you'd won. But some people struggle with that.
We all die. No matter how good you are, how bad you are, we all die. So let's just have a good experience, no matter what that is, and then respawn.
Definitely. Okay. Fink's video. Oh, this is the one I was talking about before. What is this game? I've touched on this a bit now. Oh, God. No, we don't want it in that window. We want it in this video. So it's only a short video.
Hello. How are we? Ah, zombies. You friendly? I'll come with you.
It's not copyright the music, so don't worry.
Nice one.
So there's a lot of this. Him running around trying to talk to this guy.
That was a lot of zombies.
Trying to be friendly, having a chat. He's literally...
Bruh. I can't say this has not happened to me before.
To be fair, he's got a point as well. Why the fuck can you punch a petrol pump?
I know. But yeah,
I can understand, but you know, being able
to
advise
trying it.
Yeah, I wouldn't advise it.
You'd end up with very sore knuckles, but yeah, it's just brilliant watching people have these raw experiences and the look on his face, you know, laughing like he tried talking to this person. They didn't say a word, and it was like, that must have been a bit frustrating, but he was persisting. So to his credit, you know, he persisted with trying to, and this is a guy who, from what I saw of his channel, he mainly plays games like Valorant and stuff like that. So he's stepping out of his comfort zone and playing this weird fucked up game, and the gas station just explodes, and he's like, what is this game? And that's that. Yeah, it highlights the beauty of DayZ. That just so many things can happen in this game that you just would not expect to be able to happen.
Yeah, as it's quirks, but they're good fun at the end of the day. We've all had those scenarios where we think, how the fuck, but fair enough.
Yep.
On to the next one.
But yeah, I love watching people's first experiences. You know, when even I'm in a few Facebook groups and things like that, and you see someone come in and they say they're new to the game, and I say, you know, try to record as much as possible. It's one of the things I love, is that I've got so many old videos from back when I started playing DayZ. And yeah, DayZ was nowhere near the depth of the game it is now, but it's great going back and watching some of those videos. You know, I was a PvP player back in the day. And I still enjoy going back and watching, you know, epic squad battles and stuff like that. And just it's really good if you can, because DayZ is a game like no other. And the stuff, even to this day, Brim, we still have shit happen to us that you just, oh my God, I did not think that would happen. Okay.
It happens all the time, and that's what makes the game so unique. You know, like you say, you don't get the same experience playing Call of Duty or playing, you know, PUBG or playing Fortnite or playing insert whatever other game. You know, DayZ is so unique that you can only get experiences like that in this game.
Exactly. Now, Scale Speeder, what did he share with us again? Oh yeah, console numbers. This was really nice to see, wasn't it, Brim?
Yeah. Oh, we say quite frequently, don't we? Well, I wish we had these when last weekend when we had the actual console episode, but it's one of those things we don't see a lot of numbers pertaining to console, whether it be Xbox or PlayStation.
Look at that new player count though. 250,000.
And if you notice, I mean, I'm assuming that's what the 19th of October to 19th of November means. That's 250,000 new players just in that 1 month.
And this chart just showing the numbers. This is insane growth. Insane growth. But it's definitely more of an Xbox game by the look of it than a PlayStation, because this is PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marks, 4.4 million players. No wonder why I have so many console viewers. Yeah. And that's it. I've noticed that a lot, Brim. Console people coming and even just watching the PC people play.
Yeah.
But even the console streamers like Foxy Fox Girl, I saw her the other day. She had 100 and something people watching her. It's really good seeing so many people. Scale Speed has got a good reason for why Xbox is killing it.
Yes.
It's on the Xbox Game Pass, Brim.
Yeah. I'm glad he brought that up, because I completely forgot that until Scale Speeder posted it. Yeah, that's going to account for quite a lot of the excess buzz. But I mean, you still can't blame. I mean, look at that total player count of 1.5 million just on PS4 alone. Do you know what I mean? That's pretty impressive numbers.
But this is a really good chart.
No matter if it's on the Xbox Pass or whatever, you know, there's a good amount of return players. So we can't just put it all towards that. You know, if we've got return players, something's right.
Inclement Dab. The nightmare of his existence as a modder. Mods on Xbox when? No, you'll have to share where you got this information from, Scale Speeder, because quite often we show, and I'll bring it up actually, DayZ Steam charts. But we've never really known where to go to find. What do we got? Yep, numbers are still solid. 4,545. Not quite at the peak level there of 45,000, or it was higher than that. Thank you, Scale Speeder.
Still, I always like pretty damn good numbers though.
A little bit of a dip there. Solid.
I think you're always going to get that though, aren't you? Because it's a global game. Obviously, different people have got different things going on, and with these current times with lockdowns in various countries, some places are in better steads than others. Some are. It's ever changing, so I think that's going to have some impact on it. When some people end up having their lockdowns lifted and they go back to work and go back to schools and things, obviously they're not going to have as much time to game. So I think that's got a factor in there somewhere, although I sense it's probably not a huge part of it.
Yeah. But no, it's still, like I say, there's a lot of life in this old girl yet. Lax and AWOL coming through for Mr. Utah. This was fucking brilliant. As you guys all know, we're a huge fan of Mr. Utah, and we're a huge fan of Lax Hawthorne. He's a regular on our podcast. He's always shouting it out. He says he doesn't miss an episode, but I've got to give him a lot of love for what he did. Pardon me, my young fella's been sick, so I think I'm coming down with a flu now as well. Coming live from Lax Hawthorne stream, the generous AWOL G, who was on last week with us, has just dropped $1,800 towards the At Mr. Utah production fund for our DayZ film series. This sort of passion and community is absolutely insane. The love is so real. Lax has even set up a command, which I've got to remember to copy and paste into mine as well, where he links to Mr. Utah's channel and links to Mr. Utah's PayPal as well, to help fund the ongoing high-quality production. You know, this isn't someone out there filming with an iPhone, is it, Brim? This is a guy getting the full fucking...
This is full, like, proper production, like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, this is not your cheap, you know, Polaroid camera and go and get it developed at Boots or something. You know, this is a proper situation he's got going on. It's pretty damn impressive as well with what he's created already.
I keep telling Mr. Utah he's got to set up a Patreon, something that, you know, he could do some reward tiers and things like that, and
behind the scenes, all that shit. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, I would sign up for a Patreon yesterday if he had one, because I love DayZ and I love what he's doing. And I'm extra proud of the fact it's an Aussie doing it. I know there's some other crews working on it, but the one that's out right now, it's an Aussie working on it, and that makes me really, really fucking proud. Yeah, I'm a bloody nationalist and love my anything Aussie related, but yeah, it's awesome. And big shout out to Lax for just fuck it, I'm just going to do it, and other people are jumping on board now as well. Amy said, I think, has jumped on board as well. What the hell?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
How was I not following Lax Hawthorne with the Twitch account?
Yeah, I was about to mention that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's absolutely fucking awesome, and I'm very, very proud of a fellow Aussie, Lax Hawthorne, for taking charge and just doing it, because he was, if you remember on the podcast, he was saying that, we need to get everyone on board, and I said to him, just fucking do it, Lax. If you do it, be the leader, others will follow, mate, and sure enough, they're following.
Yeah.
So
it takes someone like that, I think, as well, to really kick it off right, rather than just.
Well, so many people are reluctant to to step up and take the lead on something. They all want to wait until they see someone else do it and all the rest of it. And sometimes you just it's not like he's doing anything controversial. He's just
Yeah, there's been a lot of, charity and, just good deeds going on, around the last couple of weeks that I've seen.
Yeah.
And, that there's nothing but good that can come of it. So, good on him.
Now, this was quite interesting. I've reached out to these people, and they said they'd like to wait until they've got their servers up. I'm jumping ahead one. I'll just continue talking about it and just remind me to go back to the account trolling one. But
will do.
So we've got the creator server, Inclement Dab and Erno, doing their thing. And I think this is all based on the OTV Rust servers and the success of that server. In my mind, the only person I've watched on that server is Stimpy, because that guy is fucking next level funny. I love watching people cry. I'm sorry, but I love watching people get butthurt.
Oh, salt.
Oh, it's brilliant. But they are on the hunt for survival content creators. We are looking to build servers with great content in mind. Are you a top survival streamer or YouTuber? Drop that follow. So from what I can tell, I think this is the guy who is also behind the Strategy Roasters coffee.
Oh, Nick. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yep. So I think it's him. I'm not sure, but he's said that he wants to wait until he gets his servers up and running. That lad, Stimpy, is such a shitlord, but fucking hell, he's great. Another Australian as well, which is another thing I love about him. You got to check out his fishing videos. They're very funny. It's actually he actually face reveals himself and he just goes fishing. Yeah, friendly. I love the way he says friendly. It's the least friendly fucking thing you'll ever hear anyone say. But
you know, so fucking money, I'm a nice guy.
I'm interested in seeing what they do. You know, the more of this stuff out there, the better for everyone. But yeah, I actually shared this with Inclement Dab as well, just so he knew. Someone else is on the bandwagon as well. But it'll be very, very interesting to see what comes of this. There's a few people there. Dude Thor, Dale Plays. Oh, that dickhead Boyd, he's 73 is following him. Okay. You don't want to be on this server then. But no, the more of this sort of stuff out there, the better. You know, anything we could do to shine the spotlight on DayZ is a good thing. And hopefully it's a good experience for everyone.
Yeah, like you say, it just gives that a little extra exposure to the community, and you know that can only be a good thing. My only sort of concern is where on the actual post they made, it says about top survival creators.
Yeah,
so I would assume that that'll probably mean people like your minders, your running
your partner
mans,
people.
Your partner guys, the sort of the top 10 to 20 guys at the at the very top of the leaderboard, so to speak, rather than doing the smaller streamer side of things as well. I mean, we don't know, so
it's an interesting choice of words. So you're right on that, Brim. It's an interesting choice of words.
I was going to mention
that. Okay, so yeah, the DayZ experimental account run by Inclement Dab. I love this tweet. I loved it. They're just the comment in chat was the DayZ dev team are going to wake up and see this. Dear survivors, since Summit 1G publicly complained about the amount of trees in Chernihiv, Livonia, we decided to start a deforestation campaign. Here is our current progress on Livonia. We plan on being finished by April 1st, 2021. Even the date. But yeah, and Dance Jesus as well is behind the account. But yeah, it is brilliant.
Didn't Summit reply as well? I think he replied too.
Just stop taking stuff away, like the mags and ammo. It's bad enough trying to find stuff on the servers. People are just not getting that it's a troll account.
I love it. It's so funny.
Even Dab adding to it. Yeah, he's a respected name in the community now, and people see that. And
I salute a shit talker. Any of them, love it.
Where's Sumrak's response? Summit replied. Down with the Christmas trees. Good on him. Got
a very good response.
I just love this account. It is having some very, very good. That guy Marks fell for it too.
To be fair, that's a very valid response as well.
This actually reminds me
with a bit of deforestation.
We did a video many years ago. Let me see if I can find it. I'll mute it because there'll be
some sort of copyrighted content in there somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm guessing so.
It was for a birthday. You can see some of the old Aussie names in there. And pretty much all we did was we got as many axes as we could, and we went and deforested all around Berezino. And I've actually got it. It's in the video. Here we go. Just ran around and just chopped down every fucking tree we could find until all of our axes went dead.
Fucking hell. We could try that again. 2.0.
Yeah. It was just a good, fun silly activity to just something different. It does DayZ. That's again the beauty of fucking DayZ. We're fanboys of DayZ. Get over it, folks. It's a DayZ fucking podcast. But the shit you can do with this game. What other game, at the time allowed you to do this sort of stuff?
Yeah, you've got a point. Yeah, not really much at all.
Yeah. But no, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and just seeing the exfoliation Agent Orange treatment of Livonia just reminded me of that video. It did.
It helped along quite nicely about the with the chainsaw that we were talking about last week as well. Make things a little bit quicker and easier.
Oh man, I missed the chainsaw. We legit should have a weekend event where we deforest an entire map without restarts. Like, Dab, I can do that in 30 seconds with a script. Fact.
But that's no fun. You just press one button and things happen.
He gets everyone lined up. They're all standing there with their axes ready to go, and then all the trees just start disappearing in front of them.
Yep.
Okay. Now, we've just been talking about Inclement Dab, but this was hilarious. Now, I saw Smoke talking about it, and he said, it's not for every server, but it just shows.
All right, new ammo type coming out for the gas rifle in the next update.
Oh, I love
it will
this.
Should be available in loot tables. You have to man it manually, but it's called teleportation rounds. So what they do is they have embedded NAC technology.
I love the explosion. All the blood and guts.
The same as the same as what happens with the Gauss rifle. It is basically an explosion for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
You can teleport multiple things. And finally,
the fact that it's random, just like the orb as well, is a little bit.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that, but I would like the ability to change that. If I was to run a server and put that on it, I would like to be able to change it so maybe you can set certain locations.
I think it just shows the level of shit that it pretty much. I don't think there's much. There's obviously some constraints, like Dab was saying before with some of the what we were talking about earlier, but with the radio channels because it's hard coded. But it just adds so much depth to. If you want something like this, can you imagine being in the middle of a gunfight and the next thing you're fucking out on the ice going, what the fuck just happened? What the? I know it's not realistic. I know it's it might break immersion for some people, but on the right server, I can imagine a round like this on, say, Blue Waffle servers, for example.
Yeah,
this would be fucking next level hilarious. Next 1 minute you're in a gunfight, the next minute you're out in the snow being hunted by a fucking polar bear. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Not so much fun being on the receiving end of that specific situation. But I mean, that's the thing is, though, when you look at it, I mean, you'd have to be real careful if you were going to put it on a server, unless it was literally on like an event server for one specific event. I don't think it would work perfectly on a general server because it would make base raiding too easy. Because if you can teleport a car, surely you're just basically teleporting the gate that you couldn't bust through otherwise. You suddenly, if you've got enough rounds, all you're doing is just shooting the walls once, and they're just disappearing in front of you, and you're just gaining quick and easy access to a base.
Did you see the reply from War Dog though?
I'm not sure if I saw this one.
Watch this.
Well, Inclement Dab, I see your teleportation gun, and I raise you with controlled teleportation.
Hopefully
gamers don't know how to utilize this. Toss it into people's bases to gain access to it relatively quickly. Or use it to get a height advantage on other players. Get even higher.
I love that little sound it makes.
Out there,
yeah.
The roof.
Apparently, it's Minecraft sounds.
Technological dick measure in this. Jeez.
Hop down like no one ever saw you, like a sly fox.
It's very cool. I like it, but it definitely is a bit of dick measuring. I think.
Lagging.
I love that. I love the. It's a friendly, friendly professionalism. Dab's just giving me another link.
100%.
Well,
what's he shared here?
Dab, I see your teleportation gun, and I raise you with control.
What the? Hang about.
What the fuck?
Hang on, look.
So much fun.
It's a gravity gun.
He did it. Oh my god.
Oh god, Jesus.
Yoink. I love the command. The command says yoink.
That's so satisfying. Just yeet.
That's amazing.
Yeet.
I can imagine these two things being used by Ray for the greatest uninstalls of the game ever. Fucking hell, I can only imagine the sort of shit that could
Dab, can you do this to a player?
Here. I think so.
That's fucking awesome.
Slap him in the water somewhere.
Yeah.
He's working on that part,
fucking
he said.
boom.
Oh my god.
I might have to look at this.
That's so.
Oh my god.
That's so satisfying.
You know, there'll be purists out there. There'll be purists out there who'd say this ruins DayZ. I'm sorry, get over yourself. This is fun. This is just good fun, and that's
at the end of the day, no one is suggesting to put this into the base game. No one is saying that Bohemia should do this. We're not saying that we want this on a server, and we definitely want this, and we want a big player base. We're just saying it's a fucking cool concept, and there's nothing else to worry about. It would be really good for like.
Hey, he's just joined us. How you doing, Dab? I like what
I'm good. I'm good.
I like what Lad said in chat, mate. Man. You are way too powerful, and you need to be locked up.
Listen, I'm getting DMs that say that too, and I'm not stopping. All right, listen. All right. I just wanted to join real quick. I wanted to say, I think a lot of my enjoyment with modding comes from like pushing the envelope of what we know with DayZ.
Yes.
Whether it comes to like whether it's like just mechanics that we wanted to have in DayZ in the first place, or wacky and crazy shit like teleporting bullets. You know.
Can I ask you something? You kind of got me. We're going to go into a little mini. I've still got to put the ad up for the interview with you. But while we're on this topic, how did the idea for the orb come up to begin with? Whose idea was it? Yours or was it Sumrak?
Okay, so the whole EVR storm. Like, I talked to Adam one day because I played a lot of DayZ Namalsk, like the mod back in the day, right? And I caught wind that the EVR storms weren't going to be in. Yeah. So I'm like, that's like, all of Namalsk was my childhood, right? I loved Namalsk. So I'm like, all right, Adam, I really want to do the EVR storms. If I made them and I put them together, do you think you would put them in? And he's like, absolutely. So I spent, I don't know, probably a month working on them at that point. And I did a whole bunch of it on stream. And then eventually I started going off stream, because it started to get kind of boring and I had to do a whole bunch of like server stuff to make sure it actually worked properly. And from there, it kind of became this thing where it's like, all right, we're bouncing ideas off of each other. You know, Adam has an idea. We should, do this. We should do this. And then I'm like, all right, how do we go with, how does Athena 1 fit into everything? And it sort of became this thing where it's like, all right, well, let's put the event to happen at Athena 1 to where if you're there, something happens. Okay, what do we do? And Adam's like, what about an orb or a ball? And I'm like, that's an excellent idea. Let's do that. So Adam made a ball. Adam made this just like black disc, and we put it in. And then we started to add effects to it. I'm like, what if it had lightning inside of it? That's kind of cool. We could put like lightning effects in it. And then he's like, what about a heat haze? We just added heat hazes in 1.10. You could do that too. And I'm like, let's do it. Let's do it. And then eventually I'm like, what does this orb actually do? It just kind of sits there. And I'm like, what if it teleported you? And he's like, what? and that's his genuine. That was his genuine reaction at the time. He's like, "What? You want to make it teleport people?" And I'm like, "Give me a couple hours. I'll come with you. I'll come to you with a concept." It didn't have sound effects. It didn't have anything fancy, but it teleported you, and it was totally random. And I'm like, I could take this even a step further. I could teleport everything. So eventually I got it to where it teleports, and right now it teleports cars, items, players, and if zombies run into it, it'll also teleport zombies. I'm working on getting them to chase you through it, but it'll teleport anything you throw at it right now. And that was like the point where it's like, oh, this is a totally different thing. And then we start to integrate the lore into it. It gets complicated, and all I'm gonna say, I don't want to spoil anything, and I'm not going to, but all I'm gonna say is it only gets crazier from here.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Hell.
And I love it, mate. And please, as where was it? Dick Donovan said, "Don't keep going. Don't stop, mate. Don't stop doing this shit."
Yeah,
this is brilliant because you're doing things. Not just you, but others in the community as well are doing things that are just taking DayZ to a next level. DayZ doesn't all have to be hardcore or PvP oriented. DayZ is just meant to be fun. And you guys, it makes it fresh, like Rhino just said in chat. Namolsk breathed a breath of fresh air into DayZ that a lot of people, the amount of times I've seen comments saying, I might have to boot up DayZ again to try this Namolsk out. It is one of the pivotal moments in the history of DayZ. And you got to be part of it, mate, and that must make you feel fucking good.
I couldn't be happier because Namolsk was like, well, DayZ mod was like a pivotal point of like my entire childhood, right? Like I played two things. I played Counter-Strike and I played DayZ. And I played a lot of Namolsk. So it really like felt good for me to sort of give back and bring back a lot of the feelings that people had if you did play the mod, or if you didn't play the mod, and just to push what DayZ really is. And it goes back to like what Smoke said as well, where it's like, you know, it's not for everyone. And it's like there's some things that aren't gonna work, like the teleportation bullets. They're a gimmick. I don't mind if people don't want to use it. There's a reason why I didn't put it in loot tables when I put the update out, because it's just for fun. So and I totally understand when he does stuff like that. It doesn't faze me at all. But like to sort of bring this sort of different view of what DayZ could be is really fun, and we've built upon it too. And Adam is like, Adam, he wants to enable everything. He's such a fun person to work with, honestly.
Yeah.
Like he's probably one of the coolest people I've ever worked with in any regard to this. And he's like, man, if we can make it work, let's do it. And I love that about him. And I love that he's on board with a lot of the crazy crap that I come up with sometimes. Because I'll just come up to him and I'll say, what if we made the orb teleport you a random point on the map and you could just be anywhere you want it to be? And it's like, he's just into it, and it's awesome.
I'm excited to see what you and Erno come up with for the creator server, mate. I hand on my heart, I think you've got some surprises in store for people on that server that are going to take people by surprise.
It's not much cooler than a gravity gun, I'll tell you that. But it's definitely going to put DayZ in a different place. I'm very much focusing on a lot of the survival aspects of the game and trying to bring that out and bring out the hardcore, because I know all the content creators we have, they've all been playing the game for thousands of hours. They know how to play this game. All right. We don't have to cater. We don't have to cater to the guys that are brand new. A lot of that's what DayZ struggles with. They have to make a survival game that's hard to play, but when you download it for the first time, you don't want to get totally fucked the whole time and then uninstall it and you're done with it, right? That's no fun.
Yeah, it still needs to be accessible.
I am legally allowed to fuck with everyone now because they've all played the game for 12,000 hours at this point. So that's kind of a lot of my enjoyment there. And I feel like the guards are off with that at the very least.
Keep on doing it, mate. You're making a lot of people happy. You might be upsetting some people, but like I said, those people just need to get over it. This is just, it's fun stuff, and you're opening up possibilities. It shows people that the traditional way that they thought about modding of DayZ, they're not limited to what they thought they were. There is more that can be done. And I want to give you a big kudo as well, mate. One of the things that I love about you the most is the amount of people I know you've worked with who might have been struggling with something they were working on, and you just jump in there and you help them achieve what their idea was. And a lot of that goes unnoticed, that people aren't aware of, but The people who matter, mate, they know what you're doing, and I cannot thank you enough for the shit you've done for not just with the stuff you created, but with the shit you've helped in the background, mate. You're a fucking dead set legend.
Thank you. I mean, for me, it's, and I'll make this one quick. There's something that stuck with me very, very much when I was working for SpaceX, and I was working with like some really fucking smart people. I had a good friend of mine pull me aside and say the whole, everybody that you've ever worked with, everyone that you're working with, and everyone that you see in this building and that walks around, no matter where they are, it's all about one thing. You have one goal together. All right, it's going to fucking Mars. And those words kind of stuck with me a lot. They stuck with me because it's very, very important. It's like, and we're not going to Mars with DayZ, but we've all got one goal. That's the important part. We've all got one thing to think about. We've all got one thing to do, and that's to push this community and just to make it, make it as absolutely fun as possible. So like, if someone comes to me and says, hey man, I've got a mod that is competing with yours, like, can you help me with a script? Sure. Fuck it. I don't care. I like, that's only gonna make the community better. If it benefits the community, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do it.
You're just a good guy,
I'm just happy to help the community.
Here's to Inclement Dab in that attitude.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree.
Let me take a swig of vodka. Hold up. I've been drinking a little bit.
I think you're one of those people that probably benefits from having a few drinks as well. It frees your mind a bit.
How do you think we think of all the crazy shit that goes on the parody account?
Yeah. I love it.
I'll literally wake up and see if you've posted anything.
You've got a great partner in Dance of Jesus as well. He's a fucking madman as well.
Yeah, for sure. He's the one. He's the crazy one. I'm the one that has to keep him in line, but he'll come up with some wacky stuff, and I'm like, we gotta tone it down a little bit. We can't make any. We don't want to piss off the real DayZ account. That might make some enemies.
And just a quick shout out for Dance of Jesus as well. He doesn't advertise it on his Twitch account, but if you're ever looking for some custom mods to your map, hit him up. He does that sort of stuff on commission basis, and he's a very, very talented, and he pays a lot of attention to detail when it comes to modding locations for maps. So don't be afraid to hit him up.
Yeah, definitely. He does a really, really good job. He's done all the mapping for expansion. He's spent several hundred, maybe even over 1,000 hours in COM just placing grass on expansion. So I
placed grass and trees at DayZ expansion, Summit's worst nightmare. I love it.
I didn't even see that part. Oh, that's a new addition. That's good.
Yeah, that's why I was highlighting it. I've checked his profile out a few times, but I hadn't noticed that, and then I saw that, and it's just that's great. He's a legend, absolute legend. But no, I love that, and I love the fact that like I said before, mate, War Dog. Replied to you with I raise you, and I just love that. There's nothing wrong with competition. Healthy competition that's not toxic. Fucking go for it, people.
Me and War Dog are best buddies. Like it's just him and I just having a good laugh about it. And like the gravity gun is like 100% my response to that once I finish the mod. So it's like once. I'm gonna one up him, and I'm gonna see what he does if he has a response to that. But
now, while we've got you here, mate, quick update: Creators server. I think I saw something about roughly around the 16th to the 20th of February. You're looking at launching?
Yeah, we're not entirely sure yet, so we don't want to make any promises, but we definitely want to get it out. We're waiting on the next Demolsk update.
Yeah.
So once that comes out, expect Creators Z to be out 2 to 3 days after the Demolsk update drops.
Athena 3. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Hey? Sorry, what was that?
I didn't hear any words. I
just go back to that's it. I'm basing that totally on Adam's tweet of A1 plus A2 equals Athena 3.
Hey, well, okay, I have video evidence that character was smoking chalk, so he could have been making that up. Let me find it. Hold up. Give me a second. I'll put it in podcast.
I do have a question for you, Dab. You were talking about about obviously the orb at Athena 1. You were saying that you can get cars and stuff through it. If one were to so inclined to do so, do you think someone could go on and build a base where the orb is, while the orb is obviously not there, and then when the orb does randomly spawn in, teleport an entire base to a random location?
Fucking hell.
That'd be a nightmare.
Not necessarily like a big fucking mega base that's the size of Cherno, but like, you know, just a modest regular base in theory.
Anything inside of the space of the orb will get teleported. So bases, tents. To get technical for a moment, I'm also putting the I don't know where to put this. I'll put this in guest chat, I guess.
Yep.
This is the image of that person smoking chalk. But no, to get technical for a second, the same code that runs the Gauss rifle teleporting is the code that runs the orb teleporting. And I've shot tents and they disappear.
Oh damn!
With the contents?
Yeah. The whole object gets moved. Everything gets moved with it.
Fucking hell! That's insane.
Yeah. So me and War Dog were testing it the first day that I put it out, and what we were doing was we were throwing backpacks in the air and shooting the backpacks with stuff in it, and it was like skeet shooting.
Yep.
With a shotgun. It's like pull, bang! It's just shooting the backpacks out of the air, and whoever got more backpacks won. So yeah, anything you put in the area of the orb is going to teleport, and it'll look funny. So
there you go. That's a podcast challenge then for someone out there. Get onto an Amalsk server, build a base around the orb when it's not there, and then wait to see what happens when it does finally arrive. What happens to your base? Where does it go? If you jump in as well, will you follow your base perhaps, or will you end up in a completely different location? I would like to see that.
I would like to see someone's base get reconstructed. Just out on the ice. That'd be funny.
I may have missed this in previous podcasts, but Dab, have you got any like plans or desires to ever go into the DayZ development team at any point? Just wondering.
Well, okay, Boydie mentioned this the other week, and I didn't say anything, but I'll talk about it now. I did get an offer from Bohemia to work with them on DayZ.
Oh, okay.
I got a full offer and everything. I went through the whole process, and I politely declined. And I did for a couple reasons I can go into really quickly, but it was mainly just because I want to kind of keep the creative aspect to it. I don't want to make it a job. I'd rather keep it fun and enjoyable. And because that's all it is for me. It's just a fun little side project. And plus, a lot of what DayZ is doing right now is bug fixing, you know. And I feel like there's a lot of other people that can do that in my place, and I don't want to burn myself out for something like this.
That's it. It's interesting you say that, mate. It kind of comes back to what I talk about with being a streamer, being a YouTuber, and you know what starts as a hobby then becomes a job. And I do worry about the impact it has on some people that you know the pressure comes on them that this is their source of income. So I totally understand your reasoning there, mate.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I love what I'm doing right now. I mean, I'm really enjoying it. And I want to keep enjoying it for, you know, as long as I can at least. And I feel like if I joined the DayZ team, I would stop modding and I would become just like a bug fixer for the team. And it would be satisfying and it'd be fun. It'd be a good job. And I feel like I could contribute to the community in the same way. But I feel like as a modder, I can push the game in different ways that, you know, obviously Bohemia wouldn't let me do. Bohemia's not going to let me make a gravity gun for the game, you know. As a developer, I could make it as a modder still, but I don't feel like I'd be modding in the afternoons and the evenings after I got home.
Do you know what I reckon they need to do, Dab? I think they need to, and not just with you. I'm certain there's other talented modders out there. They need to contract out some stuff. You know, just give it to you as a contracted job, specifically to can you fix this issue? You know, yeah, I think something like that would be maybe a way around it.
They give you what they'll do is they'll give you like an X time. A time-based contract. I won't say what mine was, but they'll give you like a contract that lasts, you know, X amount of months or whatever. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you work for them for that long a time because that's how Bohemia hires their newer people. And they're not willing. The one thing that kind of was a deal breaker for me was they're not willing to contract people long distance. You move to the Czech Republic and you work at their headquarters. They won't let you do remote work at all.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough.
Was kind of which was really a big deal breaker for me. Like I think I would be okay with doing it if I worked from home, but I don't want to move to the Czech Republic in the middle of a global pandemic, especially. But in times like this.
And especially when there's no longevity to the position. That's a big fucking relocation to a country. I'm guessing you don't speak Czech.
No, I have a hard time speaking English, let alone Czech.
So that's a big ask, and I totally that adds more reason why I understand why you didn't accept it. I am surprised though, in today's day and age, that they don't allow people to work remotely.
Yeah,
man. Surely this time's showing us that that's the far easier option. And that you can get the same talent and working together more so than any other time that we've had in the past.
Mm-hmm. And they're actively hiring talent too. DayZ has mentioned it before. They want new people on the team, and they want the game to continue to grow and become this newer thing. And I think that's great. And I wish them nothing but the best for looking for people who are in a better position than I am to move to the Czech Republic and help them out.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, even without the idea of a move, there's nothing stopping you and countless other, talented individuals still helping out behind the scenes. Whenever a new update comes out, you get access to it, like we all do. But you look into it, with a lot deeper than I would. I wouldn't know what you were looking at. So, you
I've
can
already
get in there and spot things.
I've been directly helping Bohemia with a couple of issues, like for instance the firebug. I've been actively trying to help them fix that issue because there's like a couple of things that go on with the code that are a little bit sketchy. And
which bug particularly with the fire? The heatless version?
No, the issue where if you step on the fire and then walk away from it, sometimes you'll continue to take damage and then die. And there's nothing you can do.
That happened to me last week.
Yeah, it's a big issue on the most because a lot of people use fires and step on it by mistake.
You step on a fire and you hear that noise, you're like, oh fuck, is this it?
Yeah, exactly. So that's like one of the few issues that I've helped them just try and solve behind the scenes, and I'm doing it for nothing. I'm just helping them because it's not like it's that much for me anyway. It's like 20 minutes of like me just testing stuff out and sending it over and say, hey, push this to your testers and see what they say and see if and give me the feedback.
Yeah, it's for me. It goes back to that whole idea of looking at your community. We know the devs watch the podcast as well, and they've started implementing things into the game and into their way of approaching the community as a direct result of the podcast of things they've heard, that community feedback. And essentially what you can do in that sense is your own sort of version of that. You're a part of the community, but you just know a little bit more than the rest of us. So you can be that voice that can say, look, I know this is a problem. Here's how to fix it. Now we're all happy. So I think that's a brilliant way of doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, at the very least, I know Bohemia looks at like what's going on in the workshop. So so if I even like released a mod that fixed something, and then
this is just me, but I would love to see them reward you guys financially for stuff like that. Whether
I would like to see it too. Hey,
whether it only be a couple of $100 or whatever.
Has to close down his bank account. Yeah, I'd love to have Bohemia reward that, but I mean, there's other things they'd rather invest in than like. Stuff like that. So
just think about what you just said then. There's other things I'd rather invest in than fixing the game.
Yeah. It sounds messed up because okay. Let me word it like this. There's other things they'd rather invest in than contractual obligations. Stuff they absolutely have to. If they don't have to, they won't. Which kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does. It's pretty
honestly,
shitty.
That's kind of just another reason why I didn't accept the offer that they sent me, because I realized like, hey, if they're not interested in investing in like R&D and fun stuff, what's the point? It feels like another job.
It's pretty fucking sad, to be honest. I love Bohemia Interactive. I love DayZ, but that's a pretty shitty attitude. We'll probably never ever get sponsored by them now, Brim. But facts are facts. That's a pretty shitty attitude.
You got to be honest, man. You got to be honest.
Yeah.
And it's not as much my problem anymore. So
he's gonna say what he wants and fucking legs it.
Too right.
Don't hold back, Brim.
It's going upside down.
Hey, listen, if anybody from Bohemia is watching, I'm sorry. And if you want to do remote work, I'm still open. I'm here.
And look, and I will back that up. If you guys were to work something out with Inclement Dab, it would raise your esteem in everyone's eyes to be able to work something out there, because it would make us all very, very happy. One of the reasons Adam is so popular is because he was a modder, and they took him on, and he became their map god, and then he's now project lead. And for the people, the hardcore DayZ fans, we look at him and go, "That's one of the smartest decisions you guys ever made. You put in a person who everyone universally loves."
Mm-hmm. Definitely,
yeah. And as Lad said, only true fans of the game call out their antics, and we say it with love. But it's a pretty shitty thing, and I'd love to see them change their mentality on that. But keep doing what you're doing, though.
The only reason we say anything is because we want it to improve and we want it to get better.
Fuck yeah.
100%, yeah.
Fuck it's all about that constructive criticism.
But not just you, Dab. All of you modders, keep doing the shit you guys are doing. You're constantly blowing us away. It's been a recurring theme, every few months or so, Brim or I will say, that is the best fucking thing I've ever seen. Oh my God, that is the best fucking thing I've ever seen. And the sky's the limit for what not really the sky, because the limit is the hard coding, it sounds like, but yeah.
When we're making new stuff, the sky's the limit. Definitely. Yeah. It's just modifying the crap that Bohemia's already done.
Yep.
I still, every single day, at least once a day, will open up the Steam Workshop for DayZ and just see what new stuff's around, see what's like the most popular of the last couple of weeks or whatever, and just have a little look through and just go, that's a pretty cool mod, that is. Gives me an idea for for community spotlight for the podcast sometimes, and just overall, it helps keep you up to date with what's going on and to see such cool things starting to happen again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, if you guys ever get ideas for mods, my DMs are open. Let me know. I always love to hear them.
I want to see something like what you did with the Molsk with the temperature for other environments. I'm not quite sure what, but that was what we'll talk about earlier. I think you were here, mate. The fact everyone has to light fires to warm up and get their heat buff and all the rest of it. Little things like that add so much to the game. And variations of that.
Yeah.
I agree with you, because I think on Livonia, I think a threat of overheating would be really good, because Livonia is essentially like a more dense version of Chernarus. It's a much more humid climate. So seeing like an overheat threat, I think would be really, really cool.
Yeah,
I like the idea of like a desert map, perhaps that has that.
So a lot of people
like a Sahara thing.
A lot of people want to do that.
Yeah, and at that point, you've got to think, if you're a player going onto that map, normally you run around a little bit and you get your own body heat starts to actually work in game. So the more you move around whilst you've already got hot food or whatever on your on your person, you're going to have to think about that, and you're not going to want to then, with the 110 update bringing in the insulated clothing, you're going to run around and you're not going to want to pick up a best insulated winter parka jacket, because that's going to overheat you, and you're going to have that penalty from there. So it kind of limits you as well in what items of clothing you can pick up and wear, because a light pair of trousers and a short sleeve t-shirt is going to be a lot better than a winter parka and some firefighter pants, for example.
Well, to add to that too, that actually brings up a really interesting balancing dynamic, which I think is a great thing, because I don't think DayZ has done that enough, is just straight up balancing with items. So if you're running around with, let's say most of the 30 slot pants in the game, right? Like if you have a 30 slot set of pants, it's probably a long set of jeans, or it's a very insulated set of clothing. And in general, that is going to make you something like that. It's a trade-off. So you have either have high insulation and more inventory space, which means you can't walk around or run around as much, or you take one of the pair of shorts that's 20 slots, you lose 10 slots, and you get to run around as much as you want. It's a trade-off. It's a balance. It's a balancing, and it not only lets people play to their play style, but it also allows you to balance items in a more in-depth way. And I don't think DayZ is, maybe they have seen that and they haven't acted on it yet, but like Livonia could definitely benefit from more environmental issues than just like bears and deer. Like like having to deal with stuff like that and having to have that having to have that variable in the whole equation of playing the game would be great. It adds more depth and it makes it great for especially veterans, like people who play the game all the time. Guys like, you know, I that's why I think the Molsk has a lot of longevity and why I think it's great and why I think Adam did such a good job with it is it adds so many variables to the table, including like, you know, how cold you are and how many trade-offs you have, what kind of play style do you have. You know, people get to decide between helmets and hoodies. Do they want to wear one of the hoods and have better insulation, or do they want to have a helmet and have better ballistics protection? And that depends. Do you want to go and run and gun into the middle of like Athena 2? Or do you want to, you know, outskirt and play smarter and not play as...
Look, from personal experience, I'll tell you, those plate carriers, they absolutely sap you in a hot environment. We didn't have the full plate carrier. We had Kevlar vests when we were in Somalia. And oh my fucking God, mate, you took that vest off after a patrol and your entire shirt was just sodden with sweat. You sweated like your water consumption rate went through the roof the minute you put a flak jacket on. They are just absolute killers. Yeah, have you worn one as well? Have you, Zombie?
No.
Yep. No, they're insane, mate. They are absolutely insane for how even having a pack on your back in a humid environment. Because like where I served was in North Queensland, in Australia, a very humid, 90%, 95% humidity. Come February, it was absolutely disgusting. The amount of times, blokes would go down with heat stress just from wearing the Ozcam uniform, webbing, and a backpack. It was, that's an area that could be worked on. That it increases your water consumption. So you're constantly needing to find sources of water to replenish the hydration in your body. But I want to ask you, Dab. Scale Speeder did a video on his channel where he highlighted the Eden editor. Now, for people who aren't familiar with Arma 3, the Eden editor has functions in it that enable you to do basically AI missions. Is that something that could be developed for DayZ?
It's something that modders have taken a lot of time and tried to do. AI is at its core very, very hard to do, as a lot of people know. But in general, to answer your question, it's possible. Yes, I've seen some stuff where it has been done. I know expansion has some features like that haven't been released, to where AI has just been created and like the AI runs around with guns and they can shoot at you, but that's about all they can do. There's no pathfinding algorithms like A# or something like that where they can just run around it and actually like walk around an objective or anything like that. Nothing like Arma 3 has, because Arma 3 has a lot of that stuff built into it. It's already been designed to have AI inside of it. DayZ has zombie AI and animal AI, which are pretty similar from what I can tell. So we have to write our own AI system. We have to write our own pathfinding. But to answer your question, yes, we do think it is doable, but it's also very, very challenging. I would like to see it, though. Personally, I would like to.
Probably
see
the closest thing we've got is survivor missions. Then,
yeah.
That's food for thought, because I could see that working on certain servers as well. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of AI in DayZ. I prefer to die to players or, to bears and wolves and things like that, or just my own stupidity. But I know that there are people who do like it. So who am I to say?
Bears don't have AK-40. Yeah, bears don't have AK-47s to shoot back at you.
Yeah.
Yet.
Usually.
Okay. There's a mod coming from you.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Soviet bears.
I think it was it a Command and Conquer game that had bears with fucking machine guns attached to them or something? There's a game
That's
I think I remember.
Russia. What do you mean? You're just describing the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
They were on unicycles, I think.
Yeah. But no, keep on doing what you guys are doing, mate. It's fucking awesome, and it's making everyone very, very happy. Very, 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 very happy.
Yeah.
Now I discovered something the other day. Thanks to AWOLG donating a ton of bits in my channel. I thought, oh shit, I better go and check these affiliate badges. And now, Dab, you're an affiliate too, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that you could have more emotes than just the 7, the 5 normal, and 1 for tier 2 and 1 for tier 3?
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard there was new things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't done it. I haven't streamed it forever though, to be honest with you.
But it was actually pretty damn cool. I went into my channel and I looked at it and I went, hang about, these aren't badges per se. These are emotes that people unlock as an affiliate the more bits they donate. So, look, kudos to Twitch. They're a very, very evil umbrella-style corporation that knows how to milk money out of people. Because by getting people to use bits, it means they're getting their cut of anything donated to your channel because people have got to buy the bits. But it does give people who are only affiliate the chance to have more than just the 5 emotes. So for people who do donate to bits, and a lot of people are donating bits, I've started doing it a bit myself now, but you can add in more. And yeah, I've got one there, Diamond Hands. I just put that in because it's a bit of a meme at the moment. But I've got some other ones being made. So it does open it up, folks. So definitely look into it. If you've got any questions about it, send me a DM. I'll show you where it is in your channel. But you can have, in my case, I've got up to 12, but it unlocks a new emote at each tier of someone having donated bits in your channel. So it really encourages you to promote people donating bits. So hats off to Twitch, mate. I think they're the most ultimate evil corporation out there. They're working out how to milk the community immensely.
Yeah, it is clever though. It is kind of clever because I mean, if you think about it, it's I mean, if you think about it, you got to get what is it, 15 subscribers to unlock like the next emote slot or something. You have to have like 15 sub points or something. You know, what's that? $4.99 for the tier 1. So you know, you think you can share tiny amounts. You can share 1 bit, and that's what's that, 1 cent.
Yeah,
or something like that now. So, you know, you're saving a lot of money as a viewer if you're doing it in bits. So I don't know what the revenue split is. I'm assuming it's 50-50 for bits as well as it is for
no.
Subs,
of the bits that get donated to you, 100% go to you. Twitch take their cut at the point of purchase of bits. So to buy $10 worth of bits, you might pay $11. I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head. Let me have a look. Oh, you cannot share. Okay, I can't do it there. But yeah. So, and then there's things like the stream alerts function that a few of us have got where people can donate bits. Now that is something that people need to be aware of. The developer of that mod. Now, Inclement Dab, I'll throw it out to you as well, mate. You want to make a source of income, mate? Create a custom. I don't even know how you would begin to do it, but let me just go into it. Now, you understand about extensions and stuff on Twitch channels?
Yeah, yep. I've read a couple actually.
So here we go. Extensions. The one that a lot of people are using right now is not showing on my sound alerts. Create a custom one for DayZ with sounds and stuff, mate. Now this one has they're taking 20% of every donation to your channel. So there it is there. The streamer will receive 20% and 80%. The extension developer will receive 20% and the streamer receives 80%. So if someone donates 100 bits, you get 80, they get 20%, which is fair enough.
They can do that?
Yeah.
I didn't even know Twitch extension could do that.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying,
right,
mate.
Hold up. Wait a minute. All right. I might quit DayZ modding and start making Twitch extensions. Hold the fuck up.
There you go, mate. This is I sent the idea to someone else as well, but see if someone does this and just goes in and creates a massive library of DayZ sounds, well crafted, like when you go to their workshop, open new configuration dashboard, log in with Twitch. Now you go into library, and at the moment You search DayZ, and it brings up all of these different sounds. Now, the best ones. Where are they? Here we go. Now, we had a lot of fun with Rhino the other day with these sounds. And I imagine someone like you, Dab, could really, really do a good job with these sounds.
Yeah.
Because it gets them to play from different sides. So someone clever in chat with someone clever in chat watching someone can sit there and go, yeah, he just saw someone to his left. So I can play the SKS left ear sound. And, oh my God, Rhino didn't know whether he was coming or going with the noises we were doing to him. We absolutely fucked with him. He ended up running from the town. He was that scared that there was a whole squad chasing him to wipe him out. But, you know, to even have it impacting on metal, impacting on wood, metal gate door opening, there is so much scope for different sounds. Tactical Mind has gone crazy. Now, my idea, Dab, is that you do it two ways. So maybe you could sit there and say with the 20%, but if someone uploads sounds, then they earn 5% of the 20% that you get.
Yeah.
That's just my idea. I believe in people being rewarded. You know, Tactical Mind has gone and put a lot of work into recording these sounds to make them a bit more realistic. You know, you could do them from behind, from in front, and all the rest of it. Yet he's not going to make a cent from it. He is not going to make a cent from this. He's just done it for, you know, the good of the community and for himself, obviously. But yeah, I think I don't know whether it's possible. I don't know the ethics involved in it because it's something that's already been done, whether you can copy another mod or what. But yeah, I think there's the potential for you to maybe do something with this, Dab. So you didn't even know you could make money from extensions.
No, I didn't. And it's interesting too, because like ages ago, I still have it on my channel. I wrote a Python bot that lets you send TTS messages. And we had tons of fun with that. That is so much fun because normally like you have to send bits and money to get TTS messages on the stream, but I'm a smaller streamer and I don't get as many donations. So I'm like, all right, well, let's just make a bot that lets you TTS with your channel points because, you know, I could definitely use the viewers. And I thought that was really fun and interesting too. I did that probably over a year ago now when I was like, back when I was streaming like Overwatch and still living in California. So I don't know. I think it would be cool. It's interesting that they let you actually have like a certain revenue from that. I think that's really cool and awesome on Twitch. I'll have to look more into that. I think it's cool.
Now, the other thing as well, folks, if you're looking at it, like DeBarrett's just said in chat, you don't have to monetize everything either. You can actually set it up now so that people can use channel points to do some of these effects as well. So, you know, I know there's always a thing of, you're just adding this to milk people for money. I add it because on my stream, that's pretty much, I'm a boring survival fucking elitist wanker who spends his time lighting fires, fishing and fucking hunting and stuff like that. So it's pretty boring to watch. Where people get a laugh from watching me is scaring the absolute living bejesus out of me. So I've added some for those who can't afford to buy it, where, you know, one of them's even a pump action shotgun. It costs a fucking lot of channel points. So to be able to do it, you got to watch me. If you don't fucking watch me, you don't get to do it. But, you know, even a DayZ mag reload, it's just a pistol mag being reloaded. So people playing it well can scare the crap out of me. You know, someone got me with the bear attack the other day. Absolutely scared the shit out of me.
Oh, that was good. I love that.
Yeah. So it's up to you what you set it at. And you can do it with both, paying for bits.
The cool thing about that as well is that you compare that with like the new channel points prediction things you can do.
Yeah, I've got to add that one.
you've already got it, so you can literally just start predictions and have them so that you can say, especially in like an FPS game, is this streamer going to win this next round? Is this person going to get more than 10 kills or less than 10 kills? People in your chat can sit and essentially gamble and spend some of their channel points on a chance to win a ton back. You put some in, you get some back, but if you get it wrong, you lose them, and it can be quite interesting. I quite often find myself just sitting on people's streams doing that.
Twitch chat has turned me into a gambling addict, and I don't want
to. I lost an unholy amount of channel points in Tim the Tapman's channel a couple of weeks back, so I've been religiously watching him trying to claw them back this last couple of weeks.
I've got a few too many 1,000 channel points in Saramore stream. I don't want to talk about that. He's one of the channels that'll sit around it a lot. But listen, I gotta bounce out, guys. I appreciate you having me around and talking with me, and have a great podcast.
You too, mate. And I look forward to a DayZ specific sound alerts mod.
I'll look into it. All right, take it easy, guys. Peace.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
See you, man.
But yeah,
points.
This is one of my favorite sounds. This one here, sorry.
Oh, the distant shot one, yeah.
Someone did that to me when I was skinning an animal. I fucking bolted, mate. I piss bolted. I had no fucking clue. And you said it so that it doesn't do an alert as well in chat, so you don't know who's donated, who's done it to you. They own up to it if they want to. But yeah, it's fucking awesome.
So
what were you going to say, Brim?
I'm gonna say, I'm just looking at, because obviously got your stream up as well. I've got 77,500 channel points in your channel at this point, so I think I need to start,
got some good alerts
start
there.
Spending.
Get revenge on me for the bear.
You might have to, you might have to remove a couple of them or make them a bit more expensive.
No, I've left them at that point, mate, because I know a lot of people have got lots of points from watching me, because a lot of people wonder what to do with channel points. Well, if you're that way inclined, I know, I can never see someone like Smoke or the Running Man doing this, but for channels where, like myself and Rhino and others who've done it, Twinkle Toes Twitch said they've done it as well. It adds a bit of a laugh. And, at the end of the day, we're there to have a bit of a laugh, in certain streams and that. Well, in all streams pretty much, but there's a option for you.
I've got some set up in mine. I've got one of my cheapest one is it's 300 channel points, which is the bare minimum you get just for following someone's channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I've set it to that, and it's it's Star Wars. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi. And it's really hello there. That moment as he drops in on General Grievous. So I've got that set up so people can, if they want to, people can come in,
say hello properly,
get their 300 and say hello in their own way, And then I've got my stream deck. I've got one set up, and depending on who it is, if it's like one of my regulars that I know, then I can respond in either with the sound alert I have on my stream deck, or if it's someone I don't recognize that's new, I can greet them normally. But I've got one where with the little kid going, "Hello, motherfuckers!" I've got that on my stream deck. So as soon as someone does the Obi-Wan one, I'll just press that one and we go from there. So it can be a good laugh. It's just
I don't know about you, but I need to get a bigger stream deck. I need that stream deck XL. I've run out of buttons all the fucking time. Honestly,
I've got one here.
Honestly. Of nearly, as long as you've got a mic and a webcam, if you use one, a stream deck is probably one of the most important things you can have. Even if you've only got a handful of people watching you, it is. Brim said to me he got one from watching me when I was doing the stream. He would see messages popping up in my chat, and he'd be like, "How the fuck's he doing that?" And then he noticed I would, constantly be leaning forward, and then he put 2 and 2 together and got 4, and went, "That motherfucker's got a stream deck." Oh, and he actually got to see the use. I've got commands on mine. If someone says something in chat that's a bit drama oriented, I can spam drama. Someone comes in and follows, I've got a welcome. Someone just comes in and says hi, I've got g'day. And someone spends a bit of money in the channel, I've got a thank you message just ready to go. The only thing, if you're going to use emotes, you need to remember, if you've got it set up as a different bot, I do my messages as myself, but if it's coming from a bot account, you've got to make sure that bot account is subscribed to your channel. to be able to use the emotes for your channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, quite a lot of them now. You can get bots like Nightbot and various others that have alerts, like Streamlabs Chatbot, for example, has them, and so does the new one I've started using called Foxypote, which is a fairly new one to me. But they've got the welcome messages, so anytime anyone follows, you can go in and customize a custom notification. So that when someone does follow, obviously you get your normal alert, but then rather than you having to type something out or press a button, the system just automatically does it for you. And you can set it so you have, different messages for different things, and, different, I think you can get like super alerts and all sorts of things on some places. So if you know where to look, you can get all sorts of cool stuff.
Yeah, lots of stuff that you can do with your channel, folks. Just stuff that people might not be aware of. The two stream teams I'm in, Uncle Ray Ray's and R Diddy's, I shared it with them as well. There were people there who didn't know about it either. So, if you're in a stream team or you've got a community of streamers, share this stuff with them, folks, because you'll probably find you weren't the only one who didn't know it. There'll probably some who did know it. But they assume everyone else knows, and as they like to say, never assume, because it'll only make an ass out of you and me. Now we got some feedback from the dev team, which was really, really positive.
Oh, nice.
Where is it? So thanks, guys. I will have a look at the plan and see if I can do anything to support you. This is talking about an idea that we'll come back with. Now, we didn't know it, but Scotty actually had COVID. So thankfully, he got over it. He said it hit him pretty hard. His missus is a nurse in a testing facility. So I think it was only a matter of time, when, not if, he ended up catching it himself. But thankfully, he's passed it now and he's back on deck. Now, this was regarding the last video I've uploaded, which wasn't last week's episode, but the one before. Also enjoyed the last show. I have noted the communication pipeline topic for devs and modders. He's hoping to work to smooth that out. Also, the topic about patch notes, and sometimes some minor differences can happen. The patch notes are provided to experimental servers to test it in-house. We release to experimental for further testing on live environments with more real-world parameters. But the key thing they said is don't lose hope in the ticketing system, the feedback tracker. He said they do rely on the feedback and it is very helpful for us. So keep on lodging those tickets, folks. They are looking at them when they can get to them. They're looking to put more people on. So keep on using that feedback tracker. Remember, Mark's has done a video on it, but it's a pretty full-on system. Hopefully they do look at it. But keep on using it.
I think that's the only downfall of that feedback tracker. It's such a fantastic tool, and it's something that they really need to look at, which they do. So it's good to hear they are using it to its fullest extent. But like you say, just trying to, as someone who wants to, open a ticket and say, look, I'm reporting this issue to you, it's such a fucking nightmare. You have to answer so many questions and tick so many boxes. So it's very, especially if it's your first time going in and trying to use it, it's very daunting. I think, like you said, Mark's has made a video on it. So I think watching a video like Mark's video, for example, would be quite helpful, because at least that will sort of prepare you for
somewhere to start at least.
Yeah, they'll give you a basic idea so you know what to expect, so you're not completely surprised and caught off guard like I was. But yeah, it's a fantastic tool. If they can just make it a little bit easier and a little bit more user-friendly, then I think it would be a phenomenal tool.
Marx is in chat and he's saying that video was so difficult to make. I can only imagine making a video. I have enough trouble lodging a fucking ticket, let alone making a video on how to lodge a ticket, ZombieLee.
Yeah. I think it's best that we use it rather than not using it, because not using it's just going to literally do fuck all, is it? Yeah. So as much as there's an issue right now, just bear with it and you'll get answers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're not going to fucking get anywhere.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, there was a bit of a kerfuffle on Twitter between Rab Plays and Cairo regarding scripted or written. Did any of you guys get to see that? I couldn't link to the tweet.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I saw it pop up. That's the first time I've actually seen any sort of something like that actually come up as well. Normally I hear about it secondhand on the podcast, but I actually saw this myself. So Not necessarily the nicest, but it is what it is.
But honest to God, the point that was being discussed, I've got to say, I don't care. As long as they're not fucking cheating, I don't fucking care. If it entertains me, it entertains me. And yeah, I love Rav. We've had him on the show before, and I'm a big fan of his stuff. He's got an amazing series at the moment. He's 24 hours at a various location and that. But I don't care what someone does. And really, ultimately, it's up to them. They're the one who has to sleep, go to sleep knowing whether they've lied about the way the video, not lied so much, but haven't been fully open with what how they recorded a video. But I don't care. I just want to be entertained when I watch a video. And you can usually tell when something's scripted. Should they have a disclaimer in there? Probably, yeah. Should it be called scripted or written? I don't fucking care.
Yeah, I think it pissed me off more that there was this sort of conversation rather than something being scripted, written, or whatever the fuck you want to do with it. You know, it's your channel, your content. People are allowed to watch it or they fucking won't. But it just pissed me off that there's, you know, this nitpicking mentality of, oh, why the fuck has this happened? There didn't even need to be a conversation. There doesn't need to be a conversation about this shit. You know, there's two words. They mean some things to someone and some things to someone else, right? But it doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day. People enjoyed it. That's that. For Rav to just come along, and I don't mind pissing a few people off. I don't care. I'm being honest. But, you know, to just come at people and just, you know, try and cause a bit of trouble, I personally think was, you know, a bit shit.
I'm just trying to find the actual tweet. There we go. He did a poll on it. Do you think the word scripted should be used interchangeably with the word written? I personally feel it's a bit misleading. No, they're different. Yes, it should. Yeah, the results are pretty much the same. It
just seemed a bit backstabby to me. You know, it didn't really need to be, you know, put across in this way. I think we just need to be respectful. Rather than this, you know, say it on the side and make sure that people look at it if they want to. It just pissed me off a little bit. You know, this is not the way that we should be working around as content creators, streamers, or whoever the fuck you are. You know, whatever you do is what you do. If you're fucking, you know, being a real dickhead, then sure, you know, get called out for it. But I just think this is a bit stupid, and there's not really anything to it, in my opinion.
And Brim, it comes back to something we've talked on the podcast before about that. You know, at the moment, DayZ is bigger than it's ever been, and you know, we've got people who are looking to get sponsors and all the rest of it. And when they see stuff like this happening in the community, it reflects on us all, doesn't it?
Yeah. At the end of the day, you've got, you know, two arguably very well-known, you know, content creators in the DayZ community there, basically having a bitch fight on Twitter. And like you said, if you're a company that's looking to, you know, start sponsoring people and you want to look into a smaller community and you like fostering that smaller community mentality and you want to make sure that you can spread love around a smaller community like that instead of going and looking at big games like Call of Duty, you know, to see something like that is, you know, it's going to put you off slightly. You know, so really we kind of expect better from the people that kind of essentially represent the rest of us. It's why I had so many issues early on in the podcast with guys like Minder and even Erno, who we had on recently as well, because of the way they sometimes conduct themselves on Twitter, you know, and it's annoying because, like I say, it does reflect on all of us. Obviously, you've got your right to say whatever the fuck you want on your Twitter. It's yours. But I think people do need to think first before they type things out and realize that their words mean something more than just your average, you know, random person with a social media account.
So just to recap, there's a couple of people in chat saying they're not sure what we're talking about. Rab Plays did a tweet, and that's the tweet he put up there. Do you think the word scripted should be used interchangeably with the word written? I personally feel it's a bit misleading. The poll result was very close, 10% difference, but you know, if 5% of people had voted one way or the other, it was a tied poll. And Cairo took offense because I think that he's been using that term on his videos. So he felt it was aimed at him.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Cairo put a tweet out of his own separate to this that kind of started some of it, so to speak. Because I think it was Cairo put a tweet out. I might be wrong on this, but I think it was Cairo put a tweet out regarding it, and then Rav replied to it. I remember seeing that Rav had replied to one of Cairo's tweets somewhere.
Oh, yeah, I saw this. It was about Milo. I remember that.
If you have an issue with me writing movies and videos or scripting as some people want me to use, lol, then unfollow me because it's my content, my channel, and I'll do what the fuck I want, not what you want. We're still going there, are we?
Yeah, it just seems like a dick move. This is why I said, you're just being a bit of an asshole there, to be honest. It just seems like he's just trying to cause a problem that's not there. And, it really changed my mind on him, to be honest. And I don't want that to happen. I've watched his videos and I enjoy them, but this is just not something that I want to be involved in, to be honest.
No, it was disappointing to see two guys who are, they're both big channels going at each other, and I don't. It was much ado about nothing, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
It didn't need to have been made into such a big drama, and all it does is, reflect poorly on yourself to make it harder for you to be taken seriously if you're ever chasing a sponsor or something like that. It's why Brim and I have deliberately moved away from, we used to cause a bit of drama back in the early day. And we tried to move away from that. We talk about it when something happens because we feel we need to still address it, but we try to be as neutral as possible where we can. We're not really neutral, are we? We have our opinions.
I'm not asked. I'm not asked.
Yeah.
I'll just say what I want. If it's something that I know, not even if it's something that other people are going to agree on, but if it seems right to me, then I'm going to say it. And if someone wants to disagree with me, that's absolutely fine. But I think it's right of us to say, this is wrong, no matter what. If that was meant maliciously or not, it came across as that in the end. So hopefully people can learn.
Dino's Bino in my chat. Maybe this was scripted between them.
That would be funny, to be fair.
Any publicity is good publicity, they say. For Twinkle Toes, you're dead right. There really is no issue here. It was just drama for the sake of drama.
100%. 100%.
Just,
and why wouldn't you retaliate? If someone's trying to pull you down, why wouldn't you retaliate? I know it seems like a shitty thing to carry it on, but you don't have people saying shit about you and you just don't say anything, because they win, so to speak.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with that, though, is that looking at this situation specifically, I'm not sure what the time difference is between Rav's tweet you've got up there with his poll and the stuff with Cryo earlier with the Milo reference. But
that was after. That was after. I watched this happen. It was after.
So the Milo stuff, was that after Rav put up this?
Yeah, because he spoke about people saying I should say scripted, should say written in his tweet after. So he was referring to this. If someone backstabbed him, he decided to do the same. So, it's shitty from both sides in the responses. But, I guess we can learn from this as a community, hopefully.
Yeah. Drama. Okay. Now I know we talk about Devin Nash a lot, but there's another channel I've been following very closely, and that's Gale Level. Gale Level is an amazing, absolutely fucking amazing graphic designer. He's the guy who did the Running Man's video intro. He did my DayZ Spotlight video intro. But he's now moved on to bigger and better things. Like, look at his channel. He's got 84,000 subscribers. And he's starting to be very good. He's a content creator coach almost. Now, he did a video here. I'll share the link in chat. But please, if you're a content creator, whether you're an existing one or whether you're looking to start, please watch this video. Basically, he's talking about Fiverr. For the main part, Fiverr. And how streamers are getting scammed all the time on Fiverr by artists who are using stuff from... Now, he's got his own site that he's part of, which is Gumroad.com Gale Level. And
I've seen that.
He does basically packs you can get for free. Pay what you want. Now, what people are doing, Fiverr, Fiver. But what people are doing is they're stealing these free ones that he does, then going onto sites like Fiverr and saying, I will create a custom emote design, charging, he said he saw one for $200 from another site, not his, that he was doing, I think, he does these things where you can actually watch him stream live. Definitely worth it if you want some good feedback. And he reviews someone's Twitch channel, so their dashboard, what you see when someone is streaming, particularly when they're offline. Hang about, I'll just mute that. So all of the artwork on your channel, your panels and everything, to make sure that there's a design that looks good, that's eye-catching. And as you know, if you know anything about business, the more you can do to make your channel look good, the more likely people are to think, yeah, this guy's pretty cool. So what they would do is sell to people these emotes. He's had people, he's used the logo before, and he's had someone in a tweet, and he had someone say, that's my logo, you can't tweet that. And he goes, I'm sorry to say, mate, but that's a free art that's out there. You've been scammed. Yeah. So be very, very careful. Ask around. Ask people who you trust. There's a guy who I use for everything. Well, there's a few people. I actually tweeted out my people. But Evan Travis, he does. Why am I not following him with the podcast account as well? But he's done all of the overlay for the podcast, the intro for the podcast videos. Someone I use for emotes is Matchbox. Fubar Bundy's missus. She is fucking next level good. She made my scary emote for me, which I think is just fucking brilliant. She's done other emotes for me as well. And another one is Knifey Spoony. She's amazing as well. She does emotes. And there's more of them out there. I've had other stuff done by others. Dickie the Champ has done stuff for me, the mini spotlight. But ask around, find someone, and be prepared to pay what's a reasonable, or what you feel is reasonable for it. If you're, or you can just go to the sites like that one, or, I'll also share Nerd or Die. I'm an affiliate with them, but I won't share their affiliate, my affiliate link with them. But these guys do amazing stuff as well. And they do free stuff as well. I've used their stuff for a Christmas one that I did before. But they do some very professional looks where everything ends up matching your offline screen, your overlays for stream starting and all the rest of it. All of it matches and gives you that professional look a lot cheaper than paying someone like Evan or my Serval to create a custom pack for you. You could get these for, $20-$30.
I'm using one of those right now. And then beyond that, I'm just going to, talk to friends in the community, from my stream team and all those sort of people. And, just collectively, support those people, because sure, they can charge, 100 quid or something like that, but I was talking to one of the guys the other day, and he's just like, I just want it for something to do. So, I just expect, some sort of, fair donation towards my work, but I just do it just for the fun of it. So if you need anything, let me know, which I think's unbelievably kind. And there's a lot of people out there that do anything for anyone. So I'd rather people go towards those people, and obviously the people that you've mentioned, rather than these companies where you don't know who the fuck's on the other side of it. There's some amazing work out there, but it's sifting through the shit to be able to find that. And how much are you going to spend on doing that? Yeah. We can't risk it. There's a lot of people out there, don't have the, the money to be able to be throwing it around. They go treat themselves, get a new, stream setup and, get fucking robbed. And of course you can say, people need to be more careful. How much more fucking careful can you be going on to, an official website that's supposed to be vetting these people, and getting fucking scammed? It's bullshit.
See, prices here range from $15 to $30, $22.50, or a free option. This is the one I got, the naughty or nice alerts for Christmas. I didn't do it this year, but I had it another one. I'm dumb. I couldn't work out to set it up, but it basically had alerts where when someone followed or whatever, Santa would come on the screen and shoot these rockets, and it would tell you whether you were naughty or nice. It was pretty cool. It was just, and these are professional stuff. Name your price minimum. So you could get this for $0. If you're a struggling creator, but $4, nearly everyone could afford $4 if they've got a few bucks lying around from Christmas presents from Granny, or, the $50 note in the Christmas card or whatever that they give. But even if you can't, you can get it for $0. And I think I paid $6 for mine because I just, I like his work. This guy also has a YouTube channel, which if you're struggling to set yourself up, Nerd or Die, has some of the best guides. I learnt about him through the Running Man. The Running Man apparently used him for all of his stuff back in the day as well. But how to set up Streamlabs and stream on OBS Studio and all the rest of it. So really, really good channel. Definitely highly recommend checking them out. But be careful, folks. Give this guy a follow. I'll share the video again. He's an amazing mind for sharing not just this, but other stuff that he's done on his channel. Twitch streamers' biggest problems, real talk, Twitch overlays for free without Photoshop, what Twitch streamers should do in 2021. He's not getting anywhere near the views he should do, but he's still building. Phenomenal stuff. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. How to set up a free voice changer, voice mod tutorial. If you're looking for stuff to do, definitely worth following. Yeah, even make your own Twitch emotes if you wanted to. I think he's got a website where you can upload one and it will create the rest of them based on it. So definitely worth checking out, Gale Level. The guy is fucking brilliant. Sadly, he doesn't do custom stuff anymore because he's moved on to bigger and better things, but he knows his shit, folks. He knows his shit.
Yeah. That there's a lot of resources out there, some free, some paid for. And, it takes a little bit of time to find them sometimes, but definitely worth a look. The people right next to you, can do an amazing job for you as well. So just try and support whoever you can, really.
Yeah. That lad, you do your own things, which is awesome. You've got creative skills that I would fucking dream of. But for idiots like myself, it's an option, to find nice, cheap stuff. Because getting custom stuff done, if you're getting it done properly, isn't that cheap. I paid for a few emotes, $50 Australian, for 3 new emotes for my channel. But that's because I don't have these skills. And I wanted something custom. But if you don't need something custom, just start with a free overlay package to make yourself look professional until you build up the numbers, and then you can look at, maybe getting a custom thing done, because it's a good way to do it as well, because eventually your channel's going to evolve, and you'll find that mine evolved from just some basic Boydie 73 logoed stuff to the Boomer Zone, because 90% of the people who are in my chat, Brim, you've been in there, Zombie, you've been in there as well, generally older, more mature people. Like, you're young, but you're still in there, but you're a more mature person. I'm not a toxic trolling sort of chat, other than chasing people around with the bear noise. But I was looking at your face when I said that, Brim. But it's a more mature sort of. So we call ourselves the Boomer Zone. Dino's needs a new intro for my new tutorials. I'll check him out. Definitely, mate. Definitely. You probably need a custom thing, mate. My advice would be getting in contact with this guy, Evan Travis. He makes amazing stuff. Everyone who I have sent to him has said that he is good. So definitely worth checking out, mate. Definitely worth checking out. Seasoned we are. Seasoned. I like that. Seasoned. Well seasoned in Boydie's chat. But your chats are pretty the same, isn't it, Brim?
To a degree, yeah. Yeah, we sort of tend to have, quite a few conversations about the community as a whole, and, sort of hold almost mini podcasts at times in my chat as well. So it's at the end of the day, that's what streaming is, isn't it? It's all about that conversation, that interaction. DayZ just happens to be the thing that helps with that because it's also about the interaction and the conversation. So, it kind of go hand in hand and works out quite well.
So the next topic, MayZ. I came up with yet another Boydie fucking brainstorm that'll lead to a lot of work, and I'll screw it all up and let everyone down. But I'm hoping to get as many people on board with it as possible. The idea being a month of trying to promote DayZ as much as we as a community can. I've spoken to Happy Bombs. Happy Bombs said he'll look at running a True Colours event in May. I've spoken with Keegan Holland about doing another Battle Royale. We need someone to get in contact with Spaggy and see if he'll do a Run Die retry. And I've even asked someone about maybe doing our best imitation of Survivor games that we possibly can to wrap the month up. Dazzy, you guys talk too much. Play some DayZ. But I think there's some merit. I thought it was quite clever. MayZ, DayZ. Anyone like that?
It's a good idea overall. To be fair, I'm not sold on the name, but it'll do. I can't come up with anything better, so fuck it. But the idea is quite good. Try and get that promotional stuff out there. Try and showcase more of the independent stuff. Like you say, like the streamers like Happy Bombs doing custom events and Keegan doing his Battle Royale mod and things like that. So I think it's an absolutely brilliant idea.
Because there's some really good, solid events, ZombieLee, that are done out there, and I just I honestly think some of them don't get enough attention.
Yeah, I agree with that. And there's always more and more and more that are coming up, and they need some eyes on them. So any and every event can help, and we just need to support people a bit more.
Yes.
Sharing, retweeting, all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
It really gets around.
It does. And I'm really hoping we can go far. We've got plenty of time. That's what Scotty was referring to. I asked him if they would be interested in getting on board with it. And trying, if it doesn't pan out, it doesn't pan out. But what have we got to lose? Fuck all. What do we got to gain? Shit tons. We can get everyone, get more eyes on this game and show people just what DayZ's capable of being.
Yeah,
100%.
Now the big news, though, the big news of the month, Brim. How fucking good was this?
Yeah, that was a bit out of the blue, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is cool. I like this.
No warning, no nothing. Just boom, here it is. Enjoy.
Community Spotlight is back. That has been one of the things I've missed the most. Batty's Community Spotlight was, the new status report would come out and I would just scroll straight to the bottom to see the Community Spotlight. Was straight where I went. And it is so good to see it back. Kiara and Lynn, thank you so much for bringing this back. Just cinematic series Into the Moles by Baby Nades. It was so good to see Baby Nades getting shown in the first one back. The screenshot challenge. I'm a beautiful woman, man's voice.
It just goes to show, doesn't it? And without trying to sound arrogant, regarding the podcast and the fact that the devs do watch it, it just goes to show that, it goes back to what I said earlier about them actually paying attention to the community and then, implementing something based on that. We've been saying this since the start of the podcast. We want community spotlight back. We're not the only ones that said it. People have been saying it on Twitter for God knows how long as well. So we can't take all the credit. But it's good to see that they are listening to the community more and actually implementing things that we want, rather than just going ahead and chucking in any old thing.
The other thing I liked was this international corner. And they started obviously with a Czech channel, but I thought that was amazing as well, because in the past it was always predominantly English based. But it's good to see them shouting out some content creators who make content in other languages. So Zero Gaming, if you speak Czech, definitely worth checking out. But I look forward to it. It looks like it's going to be a monthly thing. Community Spotlight January 2021. So that was just an amazing thing to see. Yeah, kudos to the dev team. And probably the other one, Brim, I'll put you on the spot. But did you get to check the patch notes for the experimental update?
I did, yes. Yes, I saw that there was a few bits and bobs going on, but the biggest news, I guess, would be the fact they're releasing a new gun.
Yeah, the Asval.
Yeah.
But at the same time, from what I've seen over the last few days on Twitter, the majority of what I've seen seems to be people having the same opinion, and that is that it was a completely fucking useless weapon to put in the game because we've already got the VSS, and it takes the same amount of ammo, the same size of mag as far as the amount of rounds you can fit in there, which is 20. So it's almost like there's no point in putting it in. But at the same time, I haven't had a chance to go on and play with it. And at the same time, it kind of gives console something new to play with as well, because they don't really get the mods that we do.
You know, I disagree that it's a completely useless weapon to put in the game. If it's a weapon that's going to be more commonly found, how often do you find boxes of VSS ammo and just not able to do anything with them? I think it's great to have added an extra weapon, because I've always been a fan of the VSS. I think the VSS, especially when it's loaded with armor-piercing ammo, is pound for pound one of the best guns at close range. You drill someone with that, it doesn't matter that they've got a plate carrier on, they're fucking going down. I think it's, I would have loved the AUG. We all know that's one of the weapons I'm waiting for, but I think it's a logical choice. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of it because of the slow pace of the rounds that are fired from it. But I love the VSS, and I love the Sval. I know I'm going to love the Asval as well.
Wobo did a video on it, which proved that it wasn't, just the same old shit that everyone's been saying, what the fuck's the point of this and all this sort of stuff. It does have a purpose, and he's clearly shown that. So, hush, guys, hush. We've got new stuff. Let's just take it, and we'll get more new stuff, okay?
Yeah. I haven't watched that video yet. Were there lots of sexual innuendos in it?
I was disappointed.
Oh, has he been censored or something? Have DayZ sponsored him and told him he has to cut the sexual innuendos?
It's a possibility.
No, but this was really good to see. And a 20-round mag as well. I'm happy with the idea of that 20-round mag. Although it doesn't work in the VSS at the moment, but they said they're fixing that. But yeah, because that always annoyed me that that was the one downside of the VSS, was only 10 rounds in there. And if you're a bit of a potato aim like myself, Brim, it was a risky gun to use.
Yeah, like you say, it's a great gun. It's just like you say, it can be a little bit finicky at times, so it is going to be nice. I mean, you look at the optics on it as well from the picture, it looks like it's got some sort of canted iron sight, which we haven't seen before, so that'll be quite an interesting new development to have a go on.
Yeah, Lad is saying in chat, the canted sight is a really nice touch. It's a step in the direction to allow Russian weapons to take NATO optics and whatnot. I imagine sometime down the line, they've still got the idea of making that workshop something that you can actually interact with. And I'd love to see it being vanilla, that you can, take the weapons in there and modify them to be able to accept sights from the other faction. Where you get pretty much the Soviet, and then you've got the NATO scopes. So be able to add a rail to it to take anything.
Yeah, and I think it's so necessary as well, because the AKs and stuff, the Russian stuff, just have fucking god awful optics.
Yes.
Whereas all the NATO ones have got lovely optics. I mean, the RVN, leaves a bit to be desired, but it's still not anywhere near as bad as like the Cobra sights and stuff like that. Yep.
That's literally just a config change, so a very, very easy fix, lad is saying. Enough guns, more buildings, please. More access. Pardon me. More access to buildings.
Yes. Yeah, more access to the interiors of buildings.
Yeah.
So we can actually have more loot spawn and more variety. And
well, that was interesting. Did you watch Scale Speeder's video, Brim? that he linked to? The one about the Eden editor?
No, I haven't looked at the Eden editor one. No.
It was just interesting because you know how we were talking the other day, last week, about Arma 3 being different and not as good as DayZ standalone, just graphics wise. But some of those buildings in the Arma 3 Churnerous Plus, or whatever it was called, Churnerous Redux or something like that, you can actually access the lofts of single-story houses, and there was buildings opened up that was like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, the thing is as well, the buildings were different interiors to what they are. So the exteriors were still the same. So you still had like double red, double green, mustache houses, etc. But the problem was that, or that I saw at least with the Arma 3 video for Arma 3 DayZ, was that you'd look at that building and go, oh, I know what the interior of that looks like because I've been playing DayZ for years. And now all of a sudden you go to run in there and it's not the same. It's completely different on the inside to what you're used to. So I don't know why, considering the game, I mean, it's made by the same company. I know it's a mod, but it's surely, you must be able to get, there must have been some synergy there.
So he shared a video here. I now understand why Arma 3 is so good and Frankie on PBC prefers it for DayZ, the Devil's Castle battle. I'll have to check that one out. But yeah, I was actually looking for, where is it? That's the one I thought he'd linked to. I was just trying to find the footage of when he went into the loft of the building.
So I don't know how to get down.
Yeah. So this is a normal house, and he was able to get into the loft like you can in the houses in Namolsk.
Yeah.
It was a bit buggy, but
you go down a ladder.
Yeah, I would just love to see more of it.
Right. There was a prompt there, wasn't there? There we go.
Yeah. Definitely good to see they're still adding content. And once again, that community spotlight coming back made so many fucking people happy. And I'm excited to see a whole new bunch of people being in the spotlight across new platforms now as well. We'll see Xbox creators, we'll see PlayStation creators, and of course, PC creators. I would even, here's my suggestion to you, maybe make a console-specific community spotlight. I'd still check out the other ones, but I think you'd find the people on Xbox looking for Xbox-related stuff, the people on PS4 looking for PS4-related stuff. That would be my advice to use if you're listening. Or even just adding a section, maybe a PC spotlight in there, and then the Xbox spotlight and the PS4 spotlight, so that someone from every platform, because we love our what did you call them, Brim? Our console
plebs.
We love our console plebs on the show, but they do often say, "What about us?" And I think this would be a great way for them to show that they are giving the love to the console platforms as well.
Yeah.
Definitely. Scale Speeder. Grrr. I'm joking, Scale Speeder. We love fucking console, man. And now, like you said the other week, mate, it is fucking miraculous that DayZ is on console. And we said it afterwards. That's the thing that people need to be aware of, is that DayZ is like it did for PC. It broke new ground with the nature of the game. And then console now is breaking new ground with DayZ because there's no real game like it on console. The closest would be Minecraft, and that's a very, very simplified, graphically wise game. Something like DayZ is fucking amazing. Absolutely fucking amazing. So we are now on to the guest hosted spotlight. So we'll start with you, Zombie. What was your highlight of the last week or so, DayZ related?
Good question. I guess seeing that there's a new gun, you know, that people can bash for a little bit and, you know, be a bit of an asshole about. But yeah, you know, having new content, you know, whilst having this, you know, health check is always nice, because there was a lot of people saying, oh, it's just going to be fucking health checks. You know, we're not going to get any more new content. So it's nice that these things are being implemented. So yeah, that's definitely one thing to point out, I guess.
Yep. What about you, Brim?
Just shared a video in your chat and in mine as well. I'm just going to go old school and go back for Fubar Bundy's dick pic video. Because let's be honest, it is one of the best YouTube videos ever.
This video
so, you know,
should have 7 million fucking views. I am both shocked and appalled that this only has just over 70,000 views. This is one of the top 2 or 3 funniest videos ever recorded on DayZ.
I agree, yeah.
We can't play it because the amount of sexual innuendo in this would get us not just fucking demonetized, but probably our channel shut down. But oh my God, it is just literally one of... Apparently, Alan is pissed off his head. And I don't mean pissed off. He is drunk as a fucking skunk right here. And it is absolute gold. God, it is good looking at the old version. I've been so melancholy for the old version of DayZ. Oh, man.
Yeah, I think if we played that, all our channels would very quickly get the Dr. Disrespect treatment from Twitch, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Unless your name's Wobo, and then you can do what the fuck you want.
Yeah, yeah. For me, folks, it's a personal one again. And it comes back to our boy AWOL. I have to thank him so fucking much. My little Kickstarter for the project has achieved its goal for the real storage mod. He pretty much funded the entire tier 1 level of it and then a bit. So it is a goer. Once the project expires, we'll be going ahead and getting Windstride to create all the models, and then Dumpgra will implement the actual mod. But if you still do want to back it, there are packages available where you can actually have your own little Easter egg on the packaged version of an item. So definitely worth checking out, folks, if you like the idea of a more realistic storage mod that's craftable in-game using items. So I can't thank him enough. Hey, well, you're a fucking beast of a man. And I know he's been spreading the love even more in the community. I don't know whether he's been back and harassed you again, Brim, but I know he's been back and harassing a lot of people. And not just that, but I'll give him a shout out again as well. He's also been doing some very charitable donations to people. Panda.
Yeah, I'd actually like to give a quick shout out to AWOL as well, because you're talking about one of his charitable donations he's made recently. He actually made one to the Hellfire Show, who had a fundraiser up on what's that one called? GoFundMe, is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Was that the wheelchair one?
Yes. Well, so it's for a pushchair for his son. So his son is actually my godson, and he's on the autism spectrum and needs various things, and it makes it a lot easier now that he's getting a little bit older to get him around. He's growing out of his pushchair, and he can't just be left to run around. You know, he's an absolute fucking danger, that child. He looks like an angel, but he's a fucking nightmare. So he's basically trying to raise a little bit of money to get I don't know what you guys would necessarily call it, but a stroller, I think what the Americans would call it, pushchair. So yeah, it's just basically AWOL just went in and donated a lot more than was even necessary.
Yeah.
this kid's going to have the most tricked out fucking stroller you have ever seen.
Right.
This thing better have fucking strobe lights and boombox, some sound panel that he can sound like a truck coming down the road. You go, you little fucking legend, Aussie.
Well, you know Hellfire Show yourself, buddy, so you know there's probably going to be some daft shit occurring as a result of that.
But yeah, not just that one. He also another one here. The Running Man shared. Scotty Johnson shared a help my dad fight cancer, and he donated to that one as well. So, fucking hats off to the guy. He's brought a lot of joy to the DayZ community, predominantly, as well as some other streamers like Vertigo and Tank Girl and things like that. So. Looks like he's going to be starting streaming soon as well, folks, or doing YouTube. He's had a new logo made for him.
Made by Mr. Blunden, the same guy who made my logo and all my YouTube intros and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. He's the same guy that did Ariana's blue A logo that she's got.
Yep.
Same guy.
So, yeah, big shout out to him. Absolute fucking boss. But, guys and girls, we are now to the end of the show, and it is time to announce who is going to be replacing Brim as the regular co-host. Not replacing, no one could ever replace Brim, just replacing Brim as the regular co-host who's been here fucking every week since the beginning, mate. You haven't missed a show, have you? Even when you were went away for your...
I think yeah, when I went on vacation for a couple of weeks, I was staying at a friend's house. No, I borrowed his. I just took my headset from home because it's got a microphone thing in. So yeah, I did it there. I think there was 1 or 2 episodes right at the beginning, like maybe like episode 4 or 5, something like that, where I couldn't make it for one due to work commitments. But yeah, pretty much ever since the very first episode, I think.
On behalf of everyone, mate, I want to thank you so fucking much.
Yeah,
the DayZ podcast would not have become what it is without the likes of yourself, and not just you, Val, Daone, Jacob Mango, Foxypote, fucking just the show is. I didn't miss anyone, did I?
There's too many.
Oh, Ben! Fuck me, I did miss someone. Ben. Forgive me for not remembering Ben. We haven't seen him since fucking before Christmas, the buddy. But that's because he's been having technical issues, folks. So he's still trying to get that shit sorted, and he will be back. But he doesn't want to come on until he gets everything sorted. But time for a drum roll. Who is the new host? Say g'day.
Hello.
Marks.
Oh, nice one, man.
Marks is joining us. And it's actually a bit of a, purely for the show's reach, it's actually a really, really good one because Marks is a YouTube streamer. So the DayZ podcast is now going to be and you've been having some killer fucking view counts over there on YouTube, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been crazy the past couple of months even. It's just been exploding bigger and bigger by the week.
Nice one, well done, man.
Yeah. It was a toss-up. There were 2 people I had in mind, and it was Scale Speeder and Marks. But I had a feeling that Scale Speeder, he's been here pretty much the entire show today, but he has stuff IRL. Usually I'm used to seeing him say, I've got to duck out now, I've got to go. And he did confirm that. He said, yeah, I'd love to, but I don't have I'm not going to be able to be there every single week, which is what we really needed. If Brim or I aren't available, we need to make sure that the other person is usually always available. What kind of vids he do? Marks is a DayZ video creator.
And OnlyFans.
And OnlyFans. Oh, he's going to fit in well, isn't he, Brim? He's going to fit in well with that sense of humour.
Oh, yes.
So you can expect to see Marks starting next week. And Brim, when are we next going to get to see you again, buddy?
I I'm not entirely certain. So I know I said I could be here tonight, and I wanted to because I'd already agreed to be here anyway. Plus, I wasn't busy. But I'm not sure. I don't know when my start date for this new job's going to be for certain. So I might be back next weekend anyway.
Good.
But I might not. So I didn't want to. I didn't want to confirm anything until I'd heard and everything was in place.
Well, mate, you don't need to let us know whether you can or can't. You just turn up, mate. The same as with Val, with Ben and the rest of them, mate. If you want to be on, you're on, regardless of fucking whoever else is on, you know. And I imagine there'll be certain guests where you'll be like, Boydie, I am taking that fucking night off. I want to be on. Loyal Patriot was one of them. But yeah. Marks, quick question for you, buddy. Are we going to see a webcam?
Yes, next week.
Oh, face reveal.
Face reveal, yeah.
Oh, there's an extra reason to be watching, folks. Nice, Gary. Nice.
I'm telling you now, if you do a face reveal and you've got a full head of hair, I'm going to be very upset. You're supposed to be taking my place. We need more baldies on the show.
If you've got a full set of teeth,
now, just to make sure.
If you've got a full set of teeth, I'm going to be pissed off.
Can I just do one final thing?
Yeah, of course you can, mate.
Obviously, we were talking about the spotlights and shit. I'm organizing a charity event at the moment. I'm going to be doing a 12-hour stream and stuff for a dialysis unit that looked after my grandma for about 9 years. She sadly passed away very recently. But
sorry to hear,
yeah,
mate.
it's going to be on the it's the in the guest chat. There's a poster and shit in there. If you want to take a look.
The Chernobyl Coast to Coast Rally starts Svetlogorsk and Kamenka. Operation Blizzard Hardcore Chernobyl Survival Server. Mate, we will definitely shout that out.
Thank you, mate. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a 12-hour stream. You know, just come in, piss about, donate if you want to. We'll have a good time. But yeah, there's also a prize pool. If you're a streamer, there's 5 gifted subs. And if you're not a streamer, it's about 25 quid. So yeah, that's been donated already by my good friend who I normally play with. So yeah, shout out to him as well.
Awesome, mate. Awesome. That's a nice thing to do, mate. That's a nice thing to do. So yes, folks, thank you all so much. Mark's looking forward to having you on board, mate. You've been a long time supporter of the show, mate, and it seems only a logical conclusion that you end up being the person to replace Brim as the regular co-host. Like I said, no one will ever replace Brim. Although you're going to have to set yourself up with, or Brim will have to tell you about it, his nice stretch channel points reward. Mate, it's made for some laughing, or some good laughs in the show in the past.
And a ball cap.
Well, I still remember that episode when you just set it up, mate. And everyone was just, even I jumped in and logged into your channel while we were live on air and started spamming stretches, and you were just like, fuck off.
I think I had it set ridiculously low as well. I think I had it set to like 100 channel points or something stupid. So yeah, I've upped it to 1,000 now just in case.
Yep. So, mate, all the best. I'm very happy for you. I'm sad to be losing you as my regular co-host. You know, I had dreams of us becoming old men with grey beards. Who am I lying about? I'm already an old man with a grey beard.
I'm catching up very fucking fast, believe me.
But the world is what the world is, mate, and I'm very happy for you that you've got this job and this opportunity. As you said, it's a positive change for you. So on behalf of everyone, viewers, and the rest of the community, mate, all the best. And we can't wait to have you back on, buddy.
Absolutely, yeah.
I appreciate that, mate. Like I say, it's I'm not disappearing forever, just taking a bit of a step back and doing some other things as well. So yeah, he's still around. You can't get rid of me that quickly. And
he's still part of the podcast team. You know, some of the guys in the podcast team, you guys very rarely see on the show, but they're still there contributing, like Daone, Jacob Mango, Foxy's usually always in chat and providing links to stories and stuff like that. And yeah, much love to Brimstone, ladies saying. Getting a lot of hearts there in chat, mate.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's spam chat with some hearts for Brimstone.
Yeah, man. I've pretty much been here since first podcast watching, so it's been real nice to be on this side, and yeah, it's just been something that I've looked forward to every week. All us nerds just nerding out about this game that a lot of people try and hate. So I put in some good into it. It's going to help the game, and there's a lot of people that look forward to it. So thanks guys for doing it.
Awesome.
I'll say it's been fun. It's been a good laugh. It's added a different dimension to the game for me as well. So
yeah, I agree.
Being able to sit and analyze it rather than just play it and leave it at that has been a very interesting journey so far.
Okay, folks. So that is episode 46 of the podcast done and dusted. Next week's guest, let me just find the right channel. Jacob Mango. And we are going to be talking about Reddit DayZ, the place that everyone talks about and goes, oh my God, that is so fucking toxic.
Fucking cesspit of the community.
Yeah, it's a rough place, that one.
But also by having Jacob on, Jacob is a very talented modder himself, so I'm expecting that we will probably try and cherry pick a lot of topics to be able to get his, that's always been one of the weak points for Brim and I, that we don't really understand modding that much. Although I've got to say, Brim, my knowledge of it has increased so fucking much since starting this podcast, but even then we still just don't understand shit. So it's always good when we get one of the tech guys on, like Inclement Dab or Daone or Jacob Mango. So I'm looking forward to next week.
There's a lot to learn. I'm looking forward to it.
Mark's looking forward to it, mate.
Yes.
It's a new chapter for the podcast. And that exposure to YouTube is going to be good for us, and I think it'll be good for you as well, mate.
Yeah, it's a win-win situation, so I'm looking forward to it.
Dino's, you got a link, mate? Post it in chat. You should watch my tutorials. But yeah, all the best, everyone. Brim.
Thanks, guys. I'll definitely catch you in the chats for sure.
You will, mate. I've really enjoyed doing this show with you, mate. I really have. You've become someone I call a very close friend, and I love our origin story, mate. Who the fuck's Boyd?
Fuck's this donut with a funny accent trying to make something happen? I'll join in on that. Why not?
Vodka, you've just joined. Brim's not leaving per se, but he has to step down as the regular co-host of the show just due to IRL. He's got a job that is going to conflict with the recording of the podcast. So we will still see him from time to time. He'll still be available. He'll still be managing the TikTok account for us because that's fucking just does my head in TikTok.
Yeah, it's easy enough to do. So I'll keep up with that. Like I say, I'm still going to be around. I'm still going to be in people's streams. Still going to be on social media. I'm still going to be in Discords and stuff. So I'm just taking a slight step back. So that's all. Definitely not disappearing yet.
Okay. Enough. We'll wax on forever about fond memories and laughs and all the rest of it. But that reminds me, I've got to do the highlights of 2020 video. But yeah. All the best, everyone. Has anyone got an idea on who we should go raid?
I'm just trying to see who I've got on and myself, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Be good if we could do someone from the
Helkiana. Helkiana's playing Eco.
Go for someone from the stream team.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Dutchy Mad Dog's streaming. He's currently got 2 viewers.
I have no idea how to spell that one. Can you give me a link for it? And we'll go raid.
He's playing Path of Exile at the moment, which I've never seen.
Third rates because it's the DayZ. What about Ginsler? Ginsler's got 7 people.
Yeah, Ginsler's a good option.
There we go.
Happy days.
Head on over, spare some love for Ginsler. All the best, everyone. We will see you next week with our new co-host. All the best and ciao for now. Say goodbye, everyone.
See you later, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
See you later.
My heart